future and life. Let this light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, inside, yeah. Inside, inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future and life. Let the light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world.
Z-Bell, I see you. Good evening. If you know, I know. If you know, you know. Good evening. Thanks for joining. Please help share this live. Darren, I see you.
Inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future and life. Let this light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, inside, yeah. Inside, inside, bringing hope.
Monica, I see you. Tista Autism, I see you. Good evening. Happy Thursday. Ledix Isaac, I see you. Thank you for joining. I hope you're good. Oh, thank you for liking the live, Tista.
Let this light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring
I see you, Cole. Good evening. Happy Thursday.
Inside, inside, yeah. Inside,
Hello, Tista Autism. I hope you're good. Happy Thursday to you. I'm just stylishly waiting for you to be here today. KD, I see you. Happy Thursday. Good evening, everybody. You're welcome to Insight with FunmiRoyal today. Another day the Lord has made. Indeed, I am rejoicing in it, and I'm also glad in it. I hope you are glad in it as well. I mean, what else can we do? We have to just be thankful. Sometimes you have to let go of your worries and do something tangible, something meaningful, so you don't wallow in that pity party, self mode, or whatever. But it's all good. It's all good. I hope your Thursday is going gradually. And yay, the weekend is just around the corner. I'm excited because it's a busy weekend. For me, excitingly busy. I'm looking forward to it. Lady Mars, I see you. Rose Grace, I see you. I hope you guys are good. Happy Thursday. Yes. So please, guys, help me share this live. And as you join, you know, if you're the type you like to tap away. Oh, thank you for the heart, Nitista. Tap away so that other people can join us, you know, discussing this topic today. If you're a parent, I mean, this is the place to be right now, because there's so many things going on. Sometimes you look at your childhood days and you just remember certain things, maybe the way you were brought up, certain rules and regulation as a child in your own parents' home. And you just wonder, my goodness, when I grow up and I have my family, I'm not going to raise my children this way. No, no, no. Perhaps for some of us, culture, yeah, just say spare the rod and spoil the child. Some of us, they didn't spare the rod though. It was spared on our bodies, so to say. But we survived it. God helped us. We survived it. But we know definitely we're not going to be using any rod, on our children, so to say. However, we're going to be looking at this topic today, parenting in marriage. Parenting in marriage. And you know why it's so challenging sometimes? Because you have a husband and a wife coming from two different backgrounds, two different ways they've been raised, as children themselves, and now they're coming together to form a family, one union. And then you tend to wonder, how are they going to raise these children? Whose style of parenting are they going to adopt? Are they going to sit down and merge the two? Well, maybe the good ones, from their own childhood days. I don't know. There's so much to think about. But here we are in our own home with our own children. And sometimes we may struggle. Sometimes we may feel, oh my goodness, my parents really tried. Oh, I didn't know children were this handful. Now we're in that shoe and we're seeing things from different perspective. However, we still want to raise our children the very best way. So how do we go about parenting in our marriage relationship? So guys, stay tuned. Please help send to all your friends. If you click down for about 3 seconds, all those names will pop up on your screen. Just click send to all of them. Joy, I see you. Idrisa, Remy, I see you. Akerele, Olayemi, I see you. Thank you guys for joining in. I hope you're going to stay for the talk. However, I always have to bring my talk so that we don't go at every tangent today. We need to be focused. And when we focus in a particular direction, that is when I feel we get the essence of our topic today. Mr. Bo, I see you. Thank you for sharing Tista for Autism. Thank you. Akirele, please help share this live to your friends. Thank you for liking the live as well. So I'm going to go into my talk as usual to expand it so that we know which angle FunmiRoyal is coming from today. And I pray that as many that are needing parenting guidance, in fact, maybe I should even have invited Olumi One, because she's into parenting and all that. And who knows, fingers crossed, she might join us. Tista, please help me invite Olumi to be here today so that at least we can rub minds together. That's her expertise, really. When you talk about parenting styles, 21st day century parenting styles and all of that, she's the best person. So hopefully maybe she will join us today. Sister for Autism, help me find her, please. And hopefully she'll have the time for us. So I'm going to go into the talk, like I said, and I gave it a subtitle so we can have a better understanding. Parenting in marriage, raising children while guarding your marriage covenant. Because sometimes it's hard to say that sometimes could children be the result of separation? Could children be the result of divorce in a marriage institution, a marriage, setup? We never can tell, but a lot of things happen these days. We never imagine, but God helping us really. So Louise Charles, I see you. Good evening. Please help share this live. A13, good evening. I hope you are good. So I'm going to go into the talk, and please help share the live as much as you can, or keep tapping away so that others can be attracted to this live. I believe is of benefit to everyone. Shared with Olumia. Thank you. Yes, parenting is one of the greatest privileges of life. I mean, no doubt about it. A husband and wife gets married. The next thing, apart from them looking forward to their first child, if the whole community, extended family, everybody counting months, like, what are you guys waiting for, So it's also one of the greatest challenges as well. Now, when you add parenting into the context of marriage, the responsibility kind of multiplies, and so does the opportunity as well. So raising children isn't just about producing well-behaved kids, Theo, I see you. Thanks for joining. Parenting is not for the weak. Please help me tell them. Help me tell them, Tista. It's about disciplining the next generation while protecting the unity and love that holds the family together, which is your marriage. Just like I said earlier when I was preambling, let's it be, God forbid, that this husband and wife have broken up because of their children. This is how we're going to raise them. Thank you for the heart to me. Admissions, good evening to you. So it's amazing how things can pan out, so that's why we have to be kind of intentional. So today we're going to talk about parenting in marriage, how to raise children in unity with purpose under God's guidance. Really, like I say here, I always say this, God is the creator of the marriage institution. And he said the fruit of the womb, children, are a heritage from the Lord. They are blessings from the Lord. So children will come at some point, whether yours biologically, whether by adoption. At some point, children will come. And children coming in there, God's intention is not that these children will come into that marriage and separate husband and wife or break that marriage up. No. Far from it. So God's design, really, let's look about that a little bit. So parenting flows from a united marriage. I mean, that's what it ought to be. But you and I know there's a whole lot going on in the marriage scene these days. If you look at the book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 24, it says, therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And when you interpret that one flesh in another way, one flesh, because when they come together and they meet or they mate, they produce an offspring, become one flesh. Two people coming together, they produce one flesh, a boy or a girl. Sometimes they're even blessed by producing more. Twins, triplets, as you know, we can see in the world today. So before children came into your life, there was your spouse, there was the husband, there was the wife. And after your children are grown and gone, it will still be your spouse. So we have to be careful. Cleave together. Admission. So that means marriage is the foundation and parenting is one of its callings, not a replacement. You're not called to be a wife and now because of children you're replaced, you're just a mother. Your first heart is still the wife. Your first heart is still the husband. So we need to get our priorities right. It may somewhat sound selfish or whatever, no, because these children, they will come through you and your spouse. One day when they're old enough, they're gonna go and you're left with your spouse, not with the children. Grandchildren will come, they come and visit and they still go away. So you're left with you and your husband. So God helping you, you've allowed those children to separate you or to make you even go into a divorce. One day they're still going to leave home. You're not going to be a single parent or single mother or single wife. I don't even know how to put it. A single person in your 50s, 60s. When your children are out, you should be enjoying that marriage yet again, better, stronger than ever before. But now, because you've allowed the children to wage war between you two, you're probably living in that house, you two are living in that house, not that you're legally divorced or anything, but you're separated because of the children. Where does that leave you in the long run? So let's look at aspects of this. The danger is when couples become child-centered instead of marriage-centered. We need to get it right. We only have one life to live and we got to get it right. Yes, children need love and attention, no doubt about it, but not at the cost of your intimacy or your unity or communication between a husband and wife. So healthy parenting begins with a healthy marriage. If you lot are not solid, husband and wife, you're not solid, you're not grounded together in unity, and when the children start coming in, because sometimes you don't have a control over this. I remembered We had our first two boys, and we said, okay, let's pause. Let's wait. Maybe if we wait a bit, we'll gather our faith. We might have the third child, a girl, this and that. And we waited 6.5 years. Oh, thank you, A13, for the heart me. And then praying, God, give us a daughter, and all that. And 6.5 years, another one. I was like, oh, another boy. Okay, maybe we should just pause before, bam, another boy. I'm like, okay, enough already. Enough already. And it was quite a handful. At some point, it felt like I had two sets of twins, because 2 years apart, 6 years in between, the last 2 years or thereabout apart. And I'm like, goodness me. Imagine some people get so overwhelmed they can't even cope. Have you not heard of mothers running away? But yeah, we're not on inside, but it's all good. So healthy parenting begins with a healthy marriage. How healthy is your marriage before you start bringing those children in? Because sometimes we use those children as an excuse to just focus on them because we can't focus on our unhealthy marriage, and we try to hide behind, oh, I'm looking after the children, oh, the children needs this, the children need that, and you're neglecting your marriage. You have to be careful. Again, parenting is a shared responsibility. It's not solely on the husband, it's not solely on the wife. It's on you two together. And remember, the book of Amos 3:3 says, can two walk together unless they are agreed? Are you in agreement with your spouse even before those children start coming in? Because when they come in, is that disagreement they will find you in. And if you're not even putting effort to making sure that you tend to agree from time to time, it's going to affect your parenting skills, styles, or ways, whichever way you want to put it. So we need to be mindful. God did not intend for one spouse to parent alone. And like I always say, this is God's institution. He created the marriage institution and blessed the woman, blessed the man with the fruit of the womb, children. Let me see. Parent focus on the children at the expense of the marriage. I know. And it's a very bad habit because this thing is just a matter of time. It will be glaring. It will become obvious. Anyways, like I was saying, God did not intend for a man alone to raise a wife or a woman alone to raise a wife. If you study your Bible very well, you see that sometimes life do happen. Some women give birth and they die in the process. I get it. And the man is worried. Everybody's worried for the man. How is he going to raise this child alone? In no time, you see, they start suggesting, get another woman, or get another wife. It's not good this, it's not good that. Apart from the man needing companion, or a helpmate, they just feel it's going to be too much on that man. Likewise, they say women are strong, oh, they can do this and all that. Even if a woman loses the husband in the process of childbirth or whatever, they will look at her. Can she raise this child alone? Will she be able to cope? So it's a concern, and this is not God's intention. And as well, at least biblically speaking, a man can take on a new wife if they lost, their wife to death. A woman can take on a new husband if they've lost their husband to death. That is one of the few conditions that you can take up a new wife or a new husband. So if in the process of raising children you lose your spouse, you're at liberty to find another partner. And even then, that child will still grow up one day. Even if you have other children, they will still leave home one day, and you'll be left with your husband, you'll be left with your wife. Exactly, admissions, you have to keep a balance. So these things, sometimes they don't pay attention to it until it catches up with us, and we feel so overwhelmed, we're angry, we're upset, and before you know, separation, before you know the D word, let's be calming down, really. It's let's be calming down. So whether it's discipline, whether it's affection, whether it's teaching or provision, it's a team assignment. It's not meant for one person. Even when God was angry or upset with Adam and Eve, he sent them away together. He didn't say, you, Eve, go that way. Adam, you go that way. No, because they're one flesh. He said, let no man put asunder. So even at that, he banish them or whatever we want to call it together, together. And then they started creating Cain and Abel and all of that story. So let's look at key areas to agree on when you decide you want to be a parent in that marriage institution. Faith, love, I see you. Yamiras, I see you. Thank you guys for joining. Key areas you need to agree on. So don't even wait till the children are in already before you sit down to talk about these things. In fact, the moment you decide you're going to get married, these are things you need to be talking about. Start preparing one another, considering you're both from different backgrounds, different upbringing experiences. These are things you need to talk about, because if you keep assuming in your mind the way you want to raise your children is the way your spouse too wants to raise you, that is honest, unmet expectations you're just setting yourselves off for. So you have to talk about these things. That's why we always talk about communication here. That is a key thing, because in the process, when you say, when we have children, this is what I'll do if this happens, and your spouse is saying, no, I'm not going to do that, you'll find out that can even escalate, and that'll be the end of that engagement. So better a broken engagement than a broken marriage or a broken family. So these are things you need to look out for. Key areas to agree on. The first is discipline, because spare the rod, spoil a child. We are united in how we correct our children. You have to be, because sometimes these children, especially when they're getting older, they will want to play you. I remembered, maybe I'm upstairs, my husband is downstairs, and the boys will come, Mom, can I have ice cream? I'm like, but you just had one not too long ago. No, not today again. And they will sneak downstairs, go, Daddy, can I have ice cream? And I say, yeah, go and have it. And then they will not even come to me and be, waving. I said, but I told you not to have. I said, but Daddy said I can. Is that what you do? I'm like, I'll go downstairs. I say, my dear husband, next time they ask for something, I'm not saying don't let them take, but did you ask your mom first? Have you asked your mom before? What did she say? No. She must have said no, so don't come and disturb me. Because it took us a while to get there, to realizing that these children, sometimes they will play you. That's just even a funny bit, but imagine in a serious way. So discipline, you need to talk about how you're going to correct them, how you want to raise them, in what mode, in what format, as you guys want to have that experience. Talk about these things. Don't just assume, we're going to raise them, we will raise them. Talk about how you want to discipline. Are you the type you say, naughty corner? Are you the one that will say, no, I'm taking your iPad, your phone, or whatever? Are you the one that will be like, for the next, no pocket money? What do you want to do in terms of discipline? You need to put that in place and need to be on board together regarding this. Again, priorities. I'm talking about key areas to agree on when talking about parenting in marriage. Priorities. Are we setting the same moral and spiritual values for our children? Because for some of us, the way we grew up, do as I say, not as I do. And a lot of us grew up confused, because you see your parents saying do this and they are doing the opposite, and you're even confused, and you grew up in that confusion, and now you want to start having your own children. What kind of confusion are you planning to bring to their lives? So maybe your spouse might be the one to rescue you from such mindset, who knows? But you need to get your priorities right. Set the same moral and spiritual standard, spiritual values. Don't say to your children, you must go to church, and you're at home watching movies or something, So be mindful. That's why parenting, marriage, these things are not for lily-livered people. It's not for a lazy person even, because you have to be on your A game at all times. If your wife is not playing at you, your husband will be playing at you, or your children are playing at you, you have to be in your right senses to raise a good family, a good home. Another key area to talk about is boundaries. Are we speaking with one voice? Are we setting the same boundaries? Don't do this means don't do this. Don't do this does not mean the husband is at liberty to do it because he's the head of the home. Please don't get us started already. Action speaks louder than words. I know, because they see. They may not be able to verbalize things, but they see. Most of this society, you're not keeping any child's voice. You want them to be heard. So, boundaries you put in place. who's breaking the boundaries? Is he husband alone because he's the head of the home, or is the wife because she's the weaker vessel? No. When you put boundaries in place, nobody dare break it. Nobody. Even when the children start coming in, let them meet that boundary in place, intact, and let them see that you keep to it as well. So speak about boundaries when you want to talk about parenting, because there's certain boundaries, if you don't put in place, things will just go out of hand. And the last one I'm going to mention is affection. Key areas to agree on when we talk about parenting in marriage. Affection. Are we both emotionally present? Because this is one of the key things that cannot destroy children in a marriage institution. Hello, hey, Olumi is here. Thank you so much. You see, the spirit is being caught now. So I guess I'm not alone in this talk. Yes, boundaries should be placed at appropriate age. Children, don't go here, don't touch this, don't do that, as they're growing. And you can, sometimes they'll ask you why. They'll get to that age. Why not? Why can't I do this? Why? You know, sometimes when you explain, you think they're getting it, and then, but why? I remember those phases with my boys, like, why nearly finished my life, you know? But thank God we survived it. They're all grown up now. Olumi, thank you so much for joining. You know, I'm not one to tell us what we're going to talk about ahead of time. I bet if she's seen the promo or something, she would have been here. But I told Tisa of Autism to look for you. Why? Because I said so. I know why, because I said so. Said so, why? They will still ask why. You think they're satisfied with the explanation? Nah. But why, mommy? I know. But why? And they'll bring this baby face. You just laugh and like, after the laughter, do not touch that thing or do not do this. It's quite interesting, but sometimes it gets frustrated. This is me confessing. But all this, thank you so much, Olumi. So, affection, are we both emotionally present? Remember I talked about the husband and wife, you know, being present in the life of the child or the children. And God help you, you're alive and well. Why would you not be emotionally present for your child? Anything they come, emotion, crying, you just chase them off to their mother, or sometimes it's the other way around. The mom says, go and meet your dad, go and meet your dad. Your dad will carry you and, you know, comfort. No, both parents need to be there. In fact, sometimes you find some couple struggling. Give me my baby. Give me my baby. Give me, you know, you have to be there emotionally for these children. Don't push it. It's the role of the husband is to be the stronger one. The women are weaker vessels. No hiding behind anything. God has placed you both into their lives, or that child into your life, is for both of you to be there financially, emotionally, physically, all the least good ones that you can think of, you know. Not just one party, not just the husband, not just the wife. Because these children, as you're bonding with them emotionally, you're helping them as well from the man, from the woman perspective, to build their emotional presence as a human being. Marty, mommy, I see you. It's hard work. Tell me about it. Hey, we need grace. We need grace. We need grace. Disagreement between parents creates confusion in children and can drive emotional wedge into the marriage, even into those children as well. Imagine when they don't see the emotional connection between their parents. Something is not being built right in them as well, and then they grow up, some of them is like they're not even empathetic because they're missing certain things from parents. Therefore, if you're not ready, parents, I'm begging, or husbands and wife, take your time. You don't rush into these things, please, because a child in your hand is a whole generation. And if you see it that way, would you want a generation to fail on your account? Would you want a generation to be lacking emotionally on your account? Because you find out that people are hurting each other like crazy in this world today. Something has been missing in their lives and they don't know any better. And they treat people anyhow. They do things anyhow because whilst they were growing up, they didn't get the adequate nourishment, in terms of the emotion, in terms of being physically present, in terms of being there, and all of those things, and it's missing from their life. You can't ask them to give what they don't have. They have to go back to school more or less to learn. And I mean, at an older age, they would miss out really on certain things, except just the grace of God is upon their life to receiving that grace to parent well. Nobody's perfect. Like I said, some of us, the way we were brought up, hey, if we did think to bring our children up that way, they would have, in fact, age 5, you just see your child packing one big suitcase, I'm checking out of here, but it is what it is. So let's be mindful now that we're adults ourselves and we're raising children. Let us be mindful. And giving us this tip: never undermine each other's decision in front of the children. Of course, occasions sometimes may arise and all of that, but we need to be conscious. Sometimes when that happens, you may have to call that child out and sit them down and explain what you just saw. Is this, I was wrong, or mom was wrong. You sit that child, let them understand. You might think they're too young to understand. No, start putting that culture in them so that they will see that it's not all the time you raise your voice. When you make amends, they're not there to see it. And all they see is, hey, they're always raising their voice, and they grow up with that notion alone. It's not a balanced way at all for those children. So if they see you, for whatever reason, they see you argue, make sure they see you when you're making up. So that way it's balanced in their mind. They know that, oh, okay, these people have their issues, but they still love each other. You balance things for them, not that they just say, these people always having issues. And they grow up, when they ask, my parents always had issues. And they'll be looking, what gave you that impression? But it's the impression you gave them. You never balance their upbringing in certain ways. So never undermine each other's decision in front of the children. Take disagreements behind closed doors. If you can, really resolve them and come back out into that unity. But I always say again, balance things for your children. And sometimes maybe deliberately let them see you argue, but at the same time, if they see you argue, let them see you making resolution, because that way you balance things. They're like, oh, so you can disagree, they still come back to agree. You're balancing things for them. They see that, they know that, they're used to that, because they will face that when they start having their own family. Again, children are a blessing, not a burden. Children are a blessing, not a burden. If a child is a burden, you need to check. There is something missing, whether from early days of childhood or in their early teenage years. Something I've gone amiss, because God's blessings, they say they're the heritage from the Lord. Psalm 127 verse 3 says, behold, children are a heritage from the Lord. The fruit of the womb is a reward. And if you actually being honest and you sit down, you may have a friend, they might have tagged their child wayward or this or that. Something might be missing. It could be that the father is missing. It could be that the mother is missing. It could be that both parents are there, but something is missing. They're not giving this child, or they haven't given this child, and this child is growing up with the concept of their own, and they're rebelling and all of this, or you're always forcing them to do this, no explanation, you don't explain things to them, and that rebellious spirit is just welling up. And as a parent, you don't even have the insight to see that these children are forming this rebellious act. You just, oh, it's a child, he will grow out of it. No, don't leave that child like that, please. So let them see you make up almost immediately. Yes. Oh, Lakard, I see you. Good evening. Thank you, admission, for that. Good evening, Lakard. I hope you're good. So children are not meant to be a burden, but I know some children, you say they are notorious, some children, they are this, you label them all sorts. But truly, if you sit these children down, especially if they can manage to go to therapy, you will hear what is really happening for them. The parents are far from the knowledge of what is really going on with this child. May God give us wisdom and understanding to raising our children in the right way. Again, God calls children a heritage and a reward, not an inconvenience. Some people see children as inconvenience because now they can't pursue that career, now they cannot do this, now they can't do that. But I tell you, husband and wife really need to sit down and get their priorities right. One of the things I said to myself is, I am not going to raise my children the way I was raised. Never. And God, how I'm going to do that, you will have to help me. But this one, I know I'm not going to do with my children. God helping my husband too, he doesn't want that. And when you're from a broken home yourself, you tend to tread carefully. You tend to, most times I want to believe, because sometimes some people even go worse than their parents, and like I said, children are not meant to be inconvenienced. So when they're inconveniencing you, check. Maybe there's some selfish motive behind it. For me, I mean, not everybody may be able to do this. I took like 20 years of my life nearly on hold to raising that family I so desire in my heart. Was it worth it? Oh my goodness, raising 4 boys in this generation. And nobody's come to knock on my door to say, your boy did this, or you're this. I give God the glory, oh guys. I'm not, hey, who am I? I am grateful to God. Sometimes you don't even know I have 4 boys in my house unless there's a match on. When you hear them, sometimes they even interrupt my inside. You hear it, come on. That's when you know they're at home. And I know some may have gone to uni, and when they come back, it's like you don't even know this child that has returned to you, and they've mixed with all sort of people, bad habits, smoking, drinking, and all sorts. And be like, I didn't raise you to be like this. And that's why you can't, even when they're out of your home but they're still with you, you have to look out for them, because the influences out there is really, really serious. I lost my train of thought. There's something I wanted to say, but hopefully I'll remember. Yes, they come with mess. Yes, children will come, they're messy, they're noisy, and they could be very exhausting. Oh my goodness. Imagine when you have them back to back, back to back, as you're tending to this one too needs you, that one needs, sometimes it could be very exhausting, but in a fun way. Because would you rather be in your home by yourself, no child and all of that? No, everybody wants children. They are God's gift, placed under your care for a season. And you don't want to fail God. You don't want to fail your spouse. You don't want to fail your other children as well. They are not yours, really, if you look at it. They are not yours. They are not ours in ownership. They are God's. They are God's in stewardship. God has just given them to you. Help me raise these children in a godly way, and one day they're going to go. So it's not like you're going to raise them till forever, till for life or whatever. At some point in time, they're going to leave your home, your family, your immediate family, and then you'll be left with your spouse. That's why I say be mindful how you're parenting, such that the children does not bring wedge between you and your spouse. Be mindful. We don't own those children. It's God. They are God's children. So be careful how you treat God's children. That's what I'll say. So when parents view children as burdens, they parent out of frustration, because they're like, this child doesn't hear a word. And out of frustration, they start making negative pronouncement on this child. And yet you want to see a change. Yet your pronouncement on this child is negative. You think about it for a minute. How does that work? How does that work? As a parent, you have a power. The power is in your tongue. And out of frustration, you're almost laying a curse on that child. And yet you want to see them progress. You want to see them successful. How does that work? So we need to be mindful, especially when we get overwhelmed by parenting. When parents see children as blessings, they parent out of gratitude. Every moment, whether they are stubborn, whether this or that, you will cherish it, because some are even praying, God, even if it's just one, give to me. And they're still waiting. Some decades they're waiting. And now you have this back to back, back to back. And it's as if because you just had them without even praying or anything, you're taking things for granted. So be mindful. Are you ready to be a parent in that marriage institution? I'm going to be rounding up, shortly. Your marriage is their first classroom. Have you thought about that? They go to school, they do this, that, but where they stay, where they lay their head, where they sleep, where they wake up, Your marriage that they see is their first classroom. And if it is their first classroom, what are you training them by or with? How are you training them? What are you impacting into these children? The book of Proverbs 22:6, it says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Are we training them in that marriage classroom adequately, appropriately? I'm asking, even me, I'm asking myself. God helping us. So, children, watch how you speak to your spouse. Say, parents are children's first educators. Yeah, indeed. You know, not teachers. Teachers are secondary, in fact, thirdary, if there's any word like that. No. Children, watch how you speak to your spouse, whether husband to wife, wife to husband. In fact, I'm just flashing back certain scenarios. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. They watch how you argue and how you forgive in your marriage classroom, where they attend first. They learn to love the way they see you love. They learn to respect the way they see both of you respect one another. They what's the word now? They bring about humility, the way they see you show humility to your spouse, and faith by watching you as well. Oh, we go to church. Does this person really believe? Do they do? They watch how you treat your neighbors. They watch, exactly. They watch because you're their first classroom. How you talk, how you behave when you're angry, how you behave when things don't go your way, how you behave. They're watching, they're looking at you. Even toddlers, they're watching because they can see signs, they can read moods. Sometimes you see when you're shouting, you see that baby in the corner crying. They can feel that tension as well. The fact that that child can't talk, at least their cry, is more than enough to tell you that you're upsetting that child. Your comportment, exactly. Your lifestyle, your dressing mode, your flashiness, your everything. They're watching, they're looking, and they're forming. They're learning from your classroom, and they're taking that on board in their body, in their spirit, in their soul, and they're growing with it. So, what are they learning in your classroom? What are my boys learning in my classroom as well? You can't teach respect if your home is filled with shouting all the time. Hey, this parent, in fact, once they start, those children will run to their room and hide under the duvet or cover their head with a pillow. Oh my God, these people have started again. The fact that they can't come to you, your erratic moods, yeah, they see it. When you have your yo-yo mood as well for the mothers, the girl's child too will be looking, hey, is this how I'm meant to behave? You know, they may not understand. Some of them might even come and ask you, Mom, why are you like this or something? And then you shut them down. What do you mean, Mama? No, they want to know why you're erratic like this. And you have to have the grace to explain to them, you know, and let it make sense, because they'll come back and ask why again. You know, you can't train children to pray if you don't pray together yourselves. They see these things. A home should not be like a military zone. Please help me tell them, Tista. Some people were raised like military men. I'm telling you, whether boy or girl. There's certain things. Oh my goodness, please don't let me open that can of worm again. I never lived in army barracks, so but that discipline was top notch. You know, children learn more from what they see than what you tell them. What they see, you know, is picture, image. It goes straight into their brain, into their mind, into their subconsciousness and their consciousness, and it's there, you know, rolling over. And then again, it happens again. They take it in, they see, they hear, it goes in, and they're forming their character, they're forming their personality, they're forming themselves as a person, as an individual, based on what you're giving them, based on what they're seeing, based on what they're experiencing. Oh wow, what's that? Thank you so much, guys. Oh, thank you so much. Apples B, I see you. Lion, I see you. So please, parents, Thank you. Not gonna let you go. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your giftings and for tapping and for sharing. Thank you so much. Please know this, that children learn more from what they see. What they see, not what you tell them to do, really. You know? Otherwise, like I said, you'll be raising confused children and they'll grow up confused, get engaged confused, now married confused, they want to start parenting confused, and parenting confused, pass on even a greater confusion to their own children, and those ones too are raised in more confused. So imagine the cycle goes on and on. Esther Speaks, I see you. Good evening. Welcome. So balance parenting with marriage investment. It's a very good thing if we can hit to it. Warning signs your marriage is being eclipsed by parenting. Remember we talked about certain things you need to talk about before you start bringing children into this world. So let's look at the warning signs your marriage is being eclipsed by parenting. Imagine no private time with your spouse. Excuse me, all the time is the children. Even when they don't need you, you hide behind the needing you, and you neglect your spouse, you neglect one another. And I'm talking man, woman, it doesn't even matter, because some men do this. That's why I say, oh, I just found a club for these boys. They're going clubbing with me. They will join the football club or this and that. And you abandon the woman, you know she doesn't like football. Even when you say come along, she goes, she's bored, and you're just and she's feeling neglected. Could be the man as well. You're carrying them to this activity, all of that, everything. In fact, you even look for more to take them to. No private time with your spouse just because you're parenting. This is not God's plan or design for marriage. Everybody needs their time, because if you don't invest with time with your spouse, you're going to meet it later on. You just found out that you've been living with a stranger, and you're wondering, how did we get here? Pay attention now whilst you're still raising those children. Sometimes you may have to ask extended family to come in, stay with these children, you and your spouse go out somewhere. Or maybe the children are away, book a day off work, drop them in school, both of you go do something together. There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's always a way. Another warning sign is all conversations revolve around the kids, the children all the time. Your talk is nothing else but the children. You don't even talk about, oh, when are we going on our dates? You know, since 3 months now, we said we'll go on dates. But, oh, remember, oh, the boy need that. And then you leave that, you go into that. When all your conversation is all about kid, child, and all of that. Be mindful. That's a warning sign. Be mindful. And you have to even be attentive enough to realize that for the last 6 months, all we do is children. We didn't even have time for ourselves. Before you wake up, they'll be the one to wake you. Mommy, daddy, wake up. You wake up before you know, today is gone to you go to work, come back. Oh, have you picked this? Oh, the child needs this. The husband on his way, he will stop buy this for the children. And before you go, everybody come. Oh, the children, have they eaten? Before you know, you're going back to bed. Again, another day you start that again. Which leads me to the third warning sign. Intimacy is now replaced with exhaustion. And sometimes, maybe in a way, whether consciously or unconsciously, we tend to wear ourselves out sometimes, because we want everything with the children to be perfect. We go all out, overboard, out to do this, that. Calm down. They're only 3-year-old. They're only 5-year-old. There's only so much they need. Stop pressurizing yourself. So what do you mean? No time for yourself? Yeah. People is children. I must take this child to before you know 6 months is gone. Husband and wife have not spent a single time together. That's what I mean. So you need to be careful that as you're busy with the children, find time to spend together as husband and wife. We're talking about parenting in marriage. Focus on parenting, focus on marriage. And we don't want parenting to replace anything in that marriage. That's what we're talking about today. So God has blessed us with these children to look after them, but not at the detriment of neglecting our spouses. Well, we are all different, stronger together. I hope you stay. I'm going to open the box shortly, and then we can share our views and try to explain And like I say, I don't have all the life experiences. I can only talk from my wealth of experience. And that's why we're here today, so that we all can come together, rub minds, share our own experiences. Let's understand from different perspectives, so that we pick the very best and help ourselves with it. That's why we're here on Inside, by the ways. So intimacy is replaced with exhaustion. No, it shouldn't be. That is a warning sign that you're actually neglecting your marriage and you're focusing everything on parenting. But it shouldn't be, because your parenting does not mean your marriage should be on hold. As in, intimacy with your spouse, finding time, spending time with your spouse should not be replaced because you're too busy. Say sometimes you're too loaded. Yeah, you are. I get it. I mean, imagine, like I said, there was a time my baby bag, I mean, the last two especially, you see two sets of, two different sizes of Pampers, two different sets of bottles, two different sets, because they were just almost like twins when I had them. So busy, this heavy bag, and carry this, carry buggy, do this. So I get it. But in that moment still, you're a wife, you're a husband. So you're not looking after those children to neglect, no. So if you're the one that cannot multitask, you better start learning. Couples end up acting like housemates. Exactly, and we don't want that. That's not God's plan or design for marriage, no. Whether you have 100 children, whether you have adopted 50 of them and you have 100 of your own, no. They should not replace your spouse. That's what we're saying. Find time for your spouse as well. Find time for each other. I see you, woman of purpose, because otherwise you just be housemates, and that's not marriage. Again, another warning sign is conflict increases with every parenting challenge. At every point in time, you don't know what the challenge these children are going to bring into that marriage relationship as well. Sometimes they get in trouble outside, and then, it bounces back on you. You have to sort things out because they're still your children. No matter how old they get, they're still your children. And in a way, you're still responsible for them. So if they're still within the confines of your care, and they've gone to do something outside, it could be in school. Imagine, who wants to hear that your child is a bully? And you say, hey, my child, and then they call you to a meeting in school, and they're giving you instances, situations, events where this child has bullied one or two or three, and you'll be like, no, it can't be my child. Better don't be in denial. That's when you and your husband, you and your wife should come together and attend to that. You can't say, oh, it's the man's responsibility, or it's your child. They say when a child is good, it's the father's. When a child is bad, it's their mother's. We're not doing that. Those are myths that please erase from your mind. When a child is good, it's both parents. When a child is bad, it's both parents. Whether you're there or not, you have contributed something or nothing to the development of that child. So you bear the responsibility as well, whether in absentia or in person. Let's see, what is that? Parenting classes can help. Some parents need to learn some skills. Definitely. Thank you for that. So, conflict increases with every parenting challenge. You need to know how to handle this. Otherwise, you just be blaming each other for your child. I said it, this child. Are you sure it's my own? This child, you start saying all sort of nonsense sometimes. So please be mindful. There are solutions. There's always solutions if we look hard enough. Schedule couple time regularly, even at home. Let the children be playing. You and your hobby, sit down, watch movie, hold hands, kiss each other, do whatever. Bond. And when the children come running and they want to sit in between you, carry them, put them aside. No, nobody's sitting with me and my husband today. It's me and my husband today. And those are boundaries that say you might have to put in place. Let them get it. When mommy and daddy are having their moments, we dare not disturb. And they will respect that because they'll even like what they see. Anyway, a word is enough for the wise. Keep communication open and honest. When you feel maybe the way your spouse scolded the child or disciplined the child, it was too much, you have every right, either of you, to caution one another, because sometimes these children, they will get on your nerves, and you even say some things you don't even mean to say. But then don't just say it and then walk away. Go back and address the matter, even with that child. Dinner dates will be nice. Get a babysitter. Abi, oh, please tell them, Tista. It'll be nice. I'm even thinking, what was the last time I had? Lord have mercy. That's why I say, even me that I'm talking to you, I'm here to learn. We're not perfect. I think probably a couple of months back now, I can't even remember, to be honest. Yeah, we went somewhere close by. Yeah, I remember actually. But then, you see, it's taking me a while to remember, meaning we're not doing it regularly. That's why I'm not here to judge anyone or point fingers. We're here to reason together. Let's help one another to be better. That's why we're here. Again, that communication is very important. Don't sweep anything under and feel tomorrow it will sort itself. Say you are due a date now. I'm telling you, oh, woman of purpose, say that again. Not a family event. Okay, well, we're at a family event, but it wasn't like that. No, everybody had to go. No, so that doesn't count as such. Communication is important. If you want to address those warnings, if you want to find solution, you have to sit and talk about things. Stop blaming one another for whatever this child is bringing to the family. Bear that responsibility together. Both of you should be held accountable. Either there's something missing you both have not paid attention to. Now is the time to be ask yourself, where have we gone wrong? What did you think we didn't do right? It's not like you're blaming one another, but you're asking these questions so that it can help you find a solution. And you might have to bring that child and sit them down. This time you're not even shouting, you're not scolding. You just want to understand what's happening with them, why they feel the need to bully other children. What is happening because there's always something. They might not be able to say it, and that's why they're acting it out, and it's always coming out the wrong way. So there's something you need to help that child with to either understand or know how to react or whatever it is. So you can only do this when you calmly talk, openly talk with them, honestly talk with them. So it's very important. Again, if you're a faith family, pray together, not just for the kids, but for each other, because it's very important. When they see that, it kind of helps them, understand the role of the husband, role of the wife, what they need to do. It's not all the time they shout. Of course, they find time to pray together and do all of these things. 1 Corinthians 16:14 says, let all that you do be done with love. Even when you're angry, you still have to pray for your spouse. Even when you're upset, you still have to do certain things, Remember the love that bonds the two of you together. And they're upsetting you right now, but it's time to pray for them or pray with them. You have to still do it. So the best gift you can give your children is a strong, loving marriage. It's very important. Some children never saw their parents hug, and when they grow up, they find it hard to hug anyone. They feel it's like asking them to give you what they don't have, what they don't know. They may see people from afar, they'll feel that is them, but for them, they grew up not knowing how to hug, or not even being asked to hug. It's not a thing. I grew up like that, mind you. So it's not a thing. I'm like, every day I'm gonna, in fact, when the older ones are like, can I have a hug? They'll be like, I'm still your mother. Whether you're taller than me or not, I still want my hug. Even the younger say, when you guys grow, don't be like your brother. I'll be begging for hug, just laugh, and everybody laughs. But they know. They know. Sometimes when they're upset with me, I ask, can I have my hug? And they hug one. I say, is that how you hug now? We will laugh and then, do the needful. So raising godly children is a godless culture. Raising godly children, in a godless culture, it's gonna bring about chaos. Admissions, you're laughing, I know. The book of Deuteronomy 6 verses 6 to 7 says, and these words I command you today shall be in your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your children. Remember, we talked about the marriage being the first classroom these children will ever attend. What are we teaching them? What are we putting in their heart? Sorry, sake, I was on the phone. Yeah, it's okay. At least I'm still giving my talk. I'm going to open it shortly as I'm beginning to round up. Your child's greatest need is not money. It's not education. It's not even success. Their greatest need is to know God and live by His truth. Like I say, no matter how much we deny God, He created the marriage institution. He blessed that institution with children. So, how best to raising our children, but if not for the godly way, teach them to speak the truth. You know the 10 commandments, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not, all of those thou shalt not. Let your children know. Let them ask questions why thou shalt not. Let them ask why you don't lie. But then you're telling them not to lie and they've just experienced you lying to your spouse. How does that work? You're going to confuse them some more. So this is the best thing you can do for your children, helping them to live by the truth, the word of God, the truth that God has taught us through his word. Love, kindness, patience, long-suffering, gentleness, especially when you have 2 children, boy and girl, and the boy is always like, because it's the boy, is always not bullying, I don't want to say bully, harassing, more or less harassing the girl. And you have to warn this child, you don't treat your sister this way, you don't talk to your sister this way, and yet they're saying daddy talk to mommy this way, they're saying mommy talk to daddy that way. You're confusing them. Are you gentle? Now I'm being gentle in my voice. Don't try me. Anyways, you know, as a couple, lead them in prayer and the scriptures. Like I said, the 10 commandments, tell them to read it. What do they understand by that? And then relate it to their present day life, no matter how young they are. Teach them to make godly choices. It's very important. Make godly choices, meaning sacrificial choices. You want to play with this toy, but your sister is crying for it. You know, you be the bigger boy, whatever. Let your sister play for a few minutes, and then it's like, no, I don't want my sister to. You have to help them understand sacrificial giving, sacrificial love, and things like that. Correct them in love and truth as well, because sometimes they tend to yell, shout, and it's like the more we yell and shout, the more they're not even responding. Maybe we should change that approach, sit them down like human beings that they are, and reason with them instead of yelling down at them. Sometimes I say to my but help me understand, even when I've yelled and all that, but please help me understand, because this is me, I've explained why I've said this. Help me understand how. No, I really want to understand. And sometimes they start laughing. No, it's not a laughing matter. I want to understand your perspective, and that's what I'm asking. I'm not laughing. I've said my views about this. Let me understand how you're getting it, so that we are on the same page. And then next time you find out that by themselves, you don't even have to be there, they will make the right decision. And then they'll come and tell you, Mom, this happened and I did this. You'll be so proud. But if you have not taught them anything sacrificial, if you're not taught them anything truthful, it's going to be hard for those children, because they'll come back and tell you, this happened and I lied to get out of it, and they're happy. And then you see that you have failed because you haven't taught them the truth. Then surround them with a healthy spiritual environment where your children go, who they see, people around them generally. I will come back later. Okay, admissions, all right, no worries. The people that surround your children at home, at school, playground, playmates, or whatever, who are they? Are they contributing healthily to the lives of your children? Or are they influencing your children to come back and be giving you headache in your own home? You have to pay attention. I want to go to my friend. When is your friend coming over? I want to meet this your friend. Let me know your friend. Sometimes you're like, why? But you go to their house. Let them come over. I want to meet with your friends. And remember, you can't force transformation. You can't force it, especially when it's too late. But you can plant seeds. Pray consistently that this seed will yield good fruits in their heart, and model Christ daily to them as well. What you're teaching them, try as much as possible as it lies with you to model this to them. Don't say A and you're doing B, and then they're even coming up with C, and everybody's confused altogether. No, that is not a good parenting style. Again, grace for imperfect parent. Grace is available. You won't always get it right. Know this. As parents, you will not always get it right, and it's not a curse. It's part of life. You will make mistakes, sometimes big mistakes, But God is not looking for perfect parents. He's looking for a faithful parent. If you read the Bible in 2 Corinthians 12:9, I always go there because when you're talking marriage, parenting, and children, where best to get your reference? My grace is sufficient for you. My strength is made perfect in weakness. This is God's word. So he has not given you those children because you're perfect parent. In fact, sometimes you may see some couple, you say they are perfect, yet they don't have a child. And it's not like God is punishing them because their own time too will come. But just know that God is not looking for a perfect parent, but is looking for a faithful parent who would try as much as possible to be there for these children in every area of their lives. Let God's grace cover your weakness. Really, that's why we have to pray for one another, be there to support one another. Let him teach you even through those failures. That is not the end. Some people, they found their children in prison. They never expected this. Perhaps it's the friends they kept. Perhaps they made the wrong decision themselves. But you feel a failure as a parent. Oh, how can the whole world hear this? My child in prison, God forbid. Oh, this and that, and you almost want to condemn yourself. Life happens. But in the midst of that, don't neglect this child still. Visit this child in prison. Pray with this child. Let them have faith and hope that things can get better instead of condemning them or judging them to condemnation. So, when you miss it as a parent, repent, reset, and just keep going. Keep going. A time will come you'll look back and say, wow, boy, it was worth it. It was worth raising these children. It was worth the sacrifice. It was worth, all that you ever imagine. Again, let's learn to apologize to our spouse, even to our children. Don't say because they're children, why should I apologize to my child? That is my people call it arifi or whatever. I don't know the English now. This something English fail me right now. Apologize to your children when needed. Don't allow pride and ego, especially when you've imagine sometimes maybe there's few of them at home and something happened, disrespect don't disrespect your children, and then you come in and you don't know who has done what wrong. You just pick one and start shouting and it's always you. I know it's going to be you, and that one start crying, and they're even trying to explain to you, no, it's not this child, is you did not even hear, you just shouted, and this child, oh my God. And then later when you're calm, then I said, but daddy, it was Timmy that did it. It wasn't Bola. Hey, would you just leave things like that, parent? You will not go back to that child and apologize to that child? You've broken something in that child if you don't. And trust me, it will be hard to repair if that child grows up with that thing in them. Learn to apologize to your children. I'm not saying worship them, or what, but learn to apologize, especially when you've done wrong, whether consciously or unconsciously. They're human. They might just be little human, cute little human, but they're human. They are human before God. So treat them as such. Would you like if somebody treated you that way, accusing you falsely? You fight tooth and nail and, to vindicate yourself. Why would you do that to a child? That humility is a powerful form of teaching. That child will never forget. And that child, something in them will be softened to know when they're wrong as well, to go and apologize. Because if you don't do that, that child may have lost something for life. Let's be mindful parents. In my conclusion, I'm just going to say this. Parenting in marriage is not about perfection, like I've said. It's about partnership, husband and wife. Not just on the husband, not just on the wife. It's about walking in unity, in grace, and in purpose as a family, as God designed it. Your marriage is the soil. Your children are the fruit. And say that again. Your marriage is the soil. Your children are the fruit. Keep watering the soil and trust God for the good harvest in your children and your family as you parent these children in your marriage. Thank you guys. That's the end of my talk. However, I'm going to ask these two questions today. what do parents have? I mean, why do parents have conflicting parenting styles? Why? And then again, to what extent should couples let their own childhood upbringing influence how they parent their children? To what extent should couples let their own childhood upbringing influence the way they parent their own children? Guys, thank you for listening.
It's the future and life. Let the light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world.
I see you, Taps.
Let the dawn of a new day.
Ariella, I see you. Illuminated mind, I see you. Illuminated mind, I see you. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you. So my people, there are parents out there. This is my 2 cents. I've shared it. At least we get the perspective I'm coming from. That's why I say sometimes, in fact, I cannot afford not to give my talks, because every topic can go at different tangent. But at least you get the focus is parenting in marriage. We're parenting and our marriage is not suffering. We're not allowing our children to make our marriage suffer as well, because today on Inside we'll talk about issues in marriage. So you're welcome if you're just joining us. Welcome to Inside with FunmiRoyal. Today we're looking at parenting in marriage as God have designed it, and God helping us to understand so that we don't allow raising our children disrupt our marriage relationship as well. So please send an invite. Let's talk some more about this. Let's talk true to ourselves. Let's reason together and let us learn from one another so we can do better in our parenting styles, do better in our marriage relationship as well. Amma, I see you. Thanks for joining. I hope you're good. So I'm going to be bringing us up. Please send an invite. Let's talk some more about this. It's very important. I see you. I hope you're still there. A13, I'll take this one. I'll take that. Ernestina, good evening. I hope you are good. Thank you all for joining today. Quite an interesting topic. In fact, it's just taking me back to my own childhood days with my parents. Good evening, Tista. Let me just move this aside a bit. Sister for Autism, good evening. A13, good evening. Olumi1, I'm so happy you're able to make it. I know, short notice, but I told Sister to help me find you. And Woman of Purpose, good evening. You're welcome. I know this is your area of specialty. So I'm hoping that you're going to educate us some more about these parenting styles, so that our marriage too is not suffering. So I'm going to come to Tista because you're the first in my box whilst other people are gathering their thoughts. Tista for Autism, thank you so much for all your engagements. I see, putting some comments out there. Thank you so much. Good evening. I hope you're good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, so I don't know what your take is. If you want to answer our questions first, or maybe some things.
What is the first question?
So the first question is, why do parents have conflicting parenting styles? Thank you.
I think maybe because they are both from different backgrounds, different upbringing, so they're going to bring that into the marriage. So it's like two people trying to understand how they do things. Of course, they're going to see from different point of view. So it's like them coming together, like it's just like starting a new job. You meet different people with different ideas. You have to like talk so you can all reach a compromise kind of thing. That's the way I see it.
So thank you for that. The second question is, to what extent should couples let their own childhood upbringing influence how they parent their children?
I would say they shouldn't allow their upbringing influence, because some of them might have gone through some negative things, some trauma. So I would say that such a person should go through like maybe counseling, because we wouldn't want them to bring their bad baggage into the marriage.
Okay, Tista, what if they say, I mean, I'm a grown man now and I'm all better for it. And whilst they were children, they didn't really like one or two things, but now they've turned out to be a good person. So why not?
I would say no, no, because what might have worked for them when they were little might not work with our kids these days. So I wouldn't say so. At least this generation is different from our generation.
Oh,
So
definitely.
there are a lot of things that our parents did to us there those days that we dare not do to our kids these days. It's like we are digging a hole for them,
Oh, yeah.
setting them up to fail. So I wouldn't think it's advisable, honestly.
Okay. Thank you. I don't know what else you want to share with us, or if for now that's what you want to say. Thank you so much. Yeah, Tista, you're good. Okay. Thank you so much for your contribution. You heard it from her. Conflicting parenting styles because different upbringing, I mean, that's the obvious ones, really. A13, I see you. Thank you so much for always joining and always helping to raise that likes. I really appreciate you. So Olumi, you're next in my box. Hey, the moment I've been waiting for. Let me even usher you with a good evening. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And thank you so much for
Oh
making
no,
your
it's
time today, even though it wasn't planned.
oh listen, it's always a pleasure when I can join, to be honest. It's always a pleasure to do so. It is always, and thank you for the invite again. Thank you. Thank you, Tista. Tista too sent me an invite and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my,
absolutely.
813 too sent me an invite
Oh
and I'm
my
like, oh the
goodness. Thank you
crew.
guys.
The crew. There's no how I cannot even be a part. It will be an insubordinate
In fact, in
insubordination not
fact,
to. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Oh, well,
thank you for obliging. Thank you.
so let's go with your number one question, which was if I'm not
Why do parents have conflicting parenting styles?
I mean, there are several factors, and I think Tista has just mentioned one, which is the main factor, which is the difference in upbringing. That's because our upbringing, anyway, has that major influence to our, to our perception and our approach to most things in life. Yes, as we get older, yes, some of these things we now start, applying it in a way that speaks about us. It's almost like we will not personalize some things based on our own experiences and interaction as we go through life. But yes, do our upbringing has a major influence to the way we tend to parent. And this is why I say to people that parents in particular, that you don't have to beat yourself up when you somehow do some things that reminds you of how you were parented. Because why, that's the, because our formative life, our formative experience is a major part of our adulthood. So whether or not we want to display some character or not, it just would automatically happen. It just will automatically come out every now and again. It is now down to us as individuals to adopt and retain those ones or those behaviors or characters that will feel like, okay, this one I think is a great one and I want to keep this going. Thank you so much for the gift, Sir Leslie. I appreciate it. I want to keep it going. So it is now at that point as an adult, we now it's almost like, when you separate the chaff from the wheat, you separate the good behavior that you have learned over time before you became parent yourself, what has been modeled over the years, it is now down to you to start saying, okay, now I think this will work, this will suit my life now, but I think this one, it won't do no good for anybody. So majority of the time, yes, it's down to individuality and mainly upbringing. Another factor that can bring about conflicting parenting is personality. Some people are just, you have to, like they say, opposite attract. Majority of the time, couples just have this. Yes, they might have similarities, they might have similar traits that they both display, but these are two different personalities. Whether you're both, bubbly people and
Introvert,
sociable
extrovert,
people, you
ambivert.
still, yeah, those kind of, you
Yeah.
still do things differently. You still do. I said to people, I said, if everybody sees marriage as a union of two different ingredients that you're bringing together to make another whole ingredient. Now the truth of the matter is, yes, there would be a bit of that other recipe that you're bringing in that is not from the original recipe here. If you're ready to allow the two different recipe take time to marinate together, then you will create a new unique recipe that will not taste like what you knew before, or what he knew, what he knows, but you create something unique. But you would have to allow time for those two ingredients to simmer together. It won't just happen. If you caught in between the process, you will be feeling, because you would now for me, let's bring it to our
We'll keep it
our
real and simple. Yeah.
yeah, let me keep it real and simple now, and I will use a very, very common, well, maybe not common analogy, but something that is relatable. So let's say somebody wants to eat egusi. You want to eat egusi and ogbono together. Now, if you don't take time to mix them both, it's a very, look. You see the way you raise your eyebrow. It was like, that's a weird combination, Olumi. That who does
Oh
that?
yeah. I've tried that before, by the way.
Oh, have you tried?
Yes. Oh, trust me.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. I will let every other person decide. Maybe they should go and try it. So I've not tried it, but I will try it now.
Honestly,
But they are
delicious.
but they are two different tastes altogether, and they don't. When you mix egusi with something else, you say, okay, maybe that can work. If you mix egusi with another, maybe vegetable soup, you say, okay, maybe that will work. But with ogbono outrightly, it just like, oh God. But
Like
the truth of the matter is that if you take time to mix these two together, that they come to a point whereby they are so marinated together, it will give you a different, yeah, it won't be like any other thing you've tasted before, but it will be unique in its own way. That's how parenting is. You and I will come into the same space because we are raised by two different parents. No matter how much similarity, we both could be Yorubas,
even in the same village.
even in the same village. In fact, even the same neighbors. You are living in a house opposite each other or a house beside each other. They are you two different people. And it is normal in life that when two things that are not of the same source come together, it takes time before they don't conflict each other. They will conflict before they now start, gelling like that naturally together. It takes time for you two people to know each other, no matter how much you know yourself. And that's how parenting is. No matter how much you've known this person before you got married, when children come into the mix, because our affections towards those children, they how do they say now? They present themselves differently. Now, for the mother, because of the process we have gone through, we carry the pregnancy, we birth the children. So that some people will say, some people very often will say, oh, because the mother has always had that bond with that child, even when daddy is not home, daddy is at work, mommy constantly has that. She's carried this child, so it's almost like a different bond altogether. Even when daddy comes, daddy can rub the belly and baby is, raising his shoulder in the belly or doing all sort of things just to acknowledge the fact that I recognize this person in the room right now. So there are two different bonds at that point. So you would display your love and your discipline to your child depending on the amount of bond that you have with that child. Now that display itself differently. Some people will say, okay, what are you saying now, Olumi? What do you mean the bond? Yeah, the truth of the matter is this. Yes, two people can have children in the same house, spend the same time with that same child, and not have the same level of bond. And that child will tilt towards one more than the other. It's just a natural. approach in life. And when things like that happen, it now affect the way we attend to that child, the way we raise them, the way we relate to them, the way our affection is displayed, the way our tolerance is presented to the child based on the level of the bond that you've shared. You see, some people will say, "Oh, she's daddy's child, she's mommy's child," because maybe the tolerance that daddy have for this child, mommy don't have it, and the tolerance mommy has for this child, daddy can stand it. Do you understand what I mean? And sometimes, yes, that can bring conflict between two people because you'd be like, okay, why are you not backing me up on this one? Why are you not backing me up? This is what I say to parents when they find themselves in this kind of space. Yes, it's easy for situation like that to escalate into a disagreement because you will feel like, oh, my wife is trying to go a different route to where I'm going. You're trying, and children can sense that. When children sense the divide, they can play on that. Either whether they want to play on it maliciously, or it can even affect the children in some way, and feel like, oh, what is happening? I hope I'm not the cause of mommy's and daddy's disagreement. I hope I'm not the one stirring up these wrong emotions in them. So personality has a great trait. For me, is calm. Okay, maybe Tunji is not. Chooks is like, no, this is it, and that's it. And mommy is like, Kelechi is like, honey, wait, now still give the child. Do you understand what I mean? So some parents will present as a permissive parent, not necessarily because they want to, but because that's their personality. They are very tolerating. So this is what I say to parents: if two people who are living in the same house and raising children understand their level of tolerance, for each other and for their children, it will lessen the amount of conflict that is manifested in parenting in terms of their two different parenting styles. If you know that Sunji is the one that is like it has that temperament when it comes to things not being done right, and you are the type that you want to like be permissive. Now, it is important that you don't display those differences between in front of the children. If Tunji is displaying is like, I don't want this, have you done your own work? In that moment, yes, sometimes it might not be the thing you want to do. Just cheer him on. And when you get to the bedroom, say, oh, maybe we could have done it differently. We could do it this way next time. And if, maybe Abika is like going and say, oh, don't worry, you do it in the morning, darling. You can go to bed now. And Tuji is boiling away. I know you're boiling it. Don't start saying, Abika, you can't do that. And the child is like looking at it. Because before you know, you start, it presents to the child that communication is not right.
Or that you don't like them.
Or that exactly. It creates those kind of conflicts in the approach of the children even to you, because in that moment they're feeling, they have mixed emotions. Oh, does daddy like me or not, or does mommy like me or not, or am I doing? Do you understand? So personality, let's learn that our personality trait, and let's accept each other like that. For the fact that I'm not as all tempered, or maybe not all tempered, maybe as short tempered. I meant to say short tempered does not mean that I'm dismissing your authority, or I'm lessening your input in the chat. If you don't like it, let's talk about it when we get to bed without the children having to know. And if you feel irritated with the way I'm too permissive with things, don't let the child feel like your mommy is just allowing you to do all sorts of things. Because I see parents who in front of the child, they say all sorts of things, and the child will be like, that is a mixed message. So personality one, two, upbringing is one, personality is a second one. So our personality sometimes can bring those conflicts in parenting style. Another thing is culture too. When you have people who are married in different cultures, so things like that too can bring conflict in parenting style. Individual opinion, we all have our biases. You yes, for the fact that you're married to me, you might feel like, oh, this Igbo girl, all these Igbo people, all of you are. Do you understand what?
I know this thing is funny, but it's serious.
It is serious, and because we're having intermarriages a lot these days, We're having this thing, even not just that. People who are maybe African are marrying, people from the West and all of so all of those things. And you see two people say, "Oh, we don't do like that in Nigeria," but you are British, you are just permissive. Sometimes so those biases too, because the biases sometimes clouds our sense of judgment. You know why? Because already you form a bias in your mind that this is how these people does things. This is how. This is
People
where
from
she is
your
from.
culture, people from your culture,
People
they
from
are
your culture.
disrespectful or
Exactly.
something, yeah.
So those biases sometimes will cloud our sense of judgment. It doesn't allow us see truly the reasoning behind those actions because we form those biases. Because even to our children as well, parents as well, sometimes the reason why they tend to really lose their cool and lose their sense of grip on their children is because one, they have this set biases that, oh, maybe when children start going to school and start mixing with a set of, maybe their child came in to the house maybe with two or three Caucasian children. You feel like, oh, you're mixing with all of these children that don't have culture. That's why you're behaving this way. Do you understand what I mean? So people start being so biases as a great influence on conflict in parenting as well. I think maybe those are the major three I would mention for now, just to allow other people to
Yes,
be able to
thank you
share
so
their
much.
thoughts.
However, I'm going to ask you the second question as
Okay.
well. So, to what extent should couples let their own childhood upbringing influence how they parent their children?
Whew. With that, like I said earlier, we who we are, and who we are is as a result of where we're coming from. So regardless of how we try to avoid those part of our lives to spill over into now our adulthood, sometimes they just have a way of showing up. And yeah, they just have a way of showing up.
Tell me about it.
And that's why I say it is important. It is important to always self-reflect and ask yourself, yes, as much as my father did this and I went through this and I'm still who I am, doesn't necessarily mean that it was the right approach. And the fact that you didn't break then did not mean that it didn't break you. Do you understand what I mean? Yes, we went through it because we had no other choice. Thinking on it now, reflecting on it now, would we rather have it in a different way altogether? I think majority of us would say yes, we would have it a different way. So if we take time back, and that's why it is important for couples to discuss these things. Just before you even start having those children, let's start checking ourselves. Let's check our temperaments. Yeah, this temperament, where is it coming from? Is it as a result of how you were raised? Was it as a result of an environment? Start talking on it when we start having children. This would not really help. And sometimes some people will say to me, but Olumi, I wouldn't know what kind of parent I would be if I don't have a child, which is valid. It is a valid point. But I say to you, if you start having that approach and that perception that you're not just raising a child, you're raising an adult. Because if you have that relationship with your child as an adult, in terms of you're not seeing them as the child of today, but you're seeing them as the adult of tomorrow, then how do you expect, or how do you intend to relate with that adult? That will best help you. Do you understand? Because if I am just raising my 18-year-old, because yes, she's my 18-year-old, but she's still my child. Yeah, she's my child. But the truth of the matter is, for me, she is
She's
her
an
own
adult.
person. She's an adult. So the earlier I begin to live in that person, because yes, when I was 18, listen, my mother would still take the wooden spoon, and you mess up, you will still get the wooden spoon.
Bye.
I'll tell you. Do you understand? But then, is that the right approach? No. Would I have used that, background that I have, my upbringing, to say, yes, you're 18-year-old, but you're still my child? Yes, I do that every now and again, but not in the way and manner that my parent had done it. I said, listen, child, yes, you're 18. I understand. We're still living under the same roof. I'm still paying your bill. And even if I am not, I am still your parent. So you need to listen to me. So I'm having a conversation instead of just as playing that role of you're my child and I don't want to hear your opinion. Do you understand what I mean? So we our upbringing, I said to people, you cannot rule that out. Your upbringing is what is in fact a good percentage of who you are today. You might have been reformed, but it's a good percentage of who you are today. Yes. How much of it should we allow to influence our parenting? I would say, how much of what positive experiences you have, you can put that into your parenting, and anyone that is not positive, throw it out the window. That's a simple approach to that.
Okay. Thank you. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, Olumi. I really appreciate your coming in today. In fact, you've even taken my knowledge to another level by your submissions. Thank you so much. And it's very important because transitioning from just husband and wife to parenting, it takes another level of skill. And it's true that question you asked there, or somebody can ask that. I wouldn't know how I'm going to parent until I become a parent, really, or have a child. Sometimes it's true, but when you start talking about certain things with your spouse, just like I said in my talk as well, it will really help you broaden your mind and let you gauge your spouse's opinion about certain things. You can even bring up hypothetical situations. If this were to happen, how do you think you handle it? How do I think I'm going to handle it? And then you see that you have differences of opinion. And this may actually cause conflict if you were in real terms. And this is an opportunity for you to talk through certain things. And I love the fact that you said, look, take the positive from your own upbringing and bring it in. Mind you, your spouse too, if they want to bring the positive and bring on board, it might still not tally with your one. So you still have to sit and talk about
And
things.
that's why communication is it's very important, not just in you know um husband and wife kind of relationship, but even in relationship with your children, like you said. And it is important, like you will talk about money, like you will talk about things that you need to sit your children down. Let's talk about this, guys. What side I which I do that. And I know it's not something that is common within our community because it's not something that's been modeled over the years to us, but we are now learning to that because your children are the best. In fact, let's say when you're talking about getting feedback on who you are, your children are the best candidate because they see you through and through. Fumi, to any other person, you are FunmiRoyal, and you are to them, they know you as much as what you presented to them.
Yeah.
Their knowledge of you is as much as they know of you.
Mm-hmm.
But your children, there's no hiding away. They know you through and through. And sometimes their feedback might not be the most pleasant feedback that you want to get, but it will be the most genuine feedbacks. In
Yeah.
terms of just lastly on when I said about people asking that I wouldn't know how to parent if I'm not parent just yet. And that's why you need to have this conversation. It's just like, okay, with us who are now having adult children, I ask myself every single time when they come with partners, how do I want to relate? If we start preempting these things, it won't catch us unaware. And because we are prepared for it, we'll approach it in a more informed way than just getting into it and messing things up altogether.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for your submission. I'm coming to Woman of Purpose. Good evening. I hope you're good. Thank you for joining in today. I don't know what your views are, what your take is, or what your experiences you want to share with us. I hope you can speak. Woman of Purpose, good evening. Woman of Purpose, are you there? You're still muted. We can't hear you. Please, if you can type, if you want me to go ahead to the next person, because normally you should have unmuted by now. Okay, I'll take it as you're not able to talk now. So, Sheil, welcome. Good evening. I think I saw you a bit late, but I don't know how early you joined, if you met the talk at all or anything. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm good. How's your day been?
Very good indeed. Very, very good. I'm grateful. And yours?
So far, so good.
Thank God.
So, what are the questions?
You're
Like
coming
we always
straight for
start
the questions.
straight.
Maybe I only had two questions relating to parenting styles, but maybe I'm going to kind of divert or digress it. Not really digress, it's because it's part of it. Olumi has given her submission. Tisa for autism has she's given her submission as well. The first question I asked is, why do parents have conflicting parenting styles? However, in this talk today, I want us to kind of balance parenting and marriage, because you've heard of instances where children, maybe young adults, have kind of separated husband and wife for whatever reason. So we don't want that. The fact that we're raising our children in a godly way, God helping us, does not mean we neglect our partners, our spouses, if you get me. So there has to be a balance to all of these things we're talking about. It's like multitasking. If you're multitasking, everything your task, every task needs adequate attention. You can't say, oh, because I'm a nursing mother now, you just abandon your husband. Or because you're a nursing mother now and you find yourself not being able to pursue your career, you're taking it out on your husband, especially for women, career women who are now mothers and they're not transitioning well, so to say. They're angry at their husband for no reason because they can't carry that toddler, that baby to office. You know that. And besides, you have maternity leave, maybe a year or whatever. So I want us to kind of go into that as well, where we don't allow our parenting styles or how we're raising our children to break husband and wife apart. So what can they do when it seems like all attention is on the child and spouses are being neglected? I don't know if you understand my question there.
Yes, but your question, you've got two questions rolled in
Yes,
one.
two questions. So yeah, you
So,
can answer the conflicting. Why do parents have conflicting parenting styles, and what can parents, husband and wife, do such that they're raising those children will not affect them as husband and wife?
I think I'll start with the fact that the very obvious one, because both parents have been raised differently, different backgrounds. So definitely their outlook on life will be very different. I think that one is obvious.
Yeah.
But I think I will focus more on the fact that it is important that the way parents raise children conflict, in the sense that mothers are generally the nurturer of the home and fathers generally are supposed to be the disciplinarian. Now, these are not hard, fast rules. I'm just using
Well,
them
of course.
as some form of framework, if that makes sense. So if you have a nurturer and you have somebody that is a disciplinarian, what I think is you now develop a human being that has got a bit of both. And that person now becomes, will I say, a whole. So if you, my theory is, if you have both parents being too similar, you're going to have a child that is too lopsided, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And different perspectives are very, very important for situations in general. I always give this example that if I'm sitting down, or if we're both sitting down in the sitting room and there is, I don't know, a vase on the table, the way I see that vase is going to be different from the way you see that vase, because we're sitting at
Different angles. Yeah.
different angles. We're looking at the same thing. It doesn't mean that my perspective is wrong. It doesn't mean your perspective is wrong. But if we communicate together and we describe that verse has more detail, because we've got two different perspectives of that verse, as opposed to if we're both sitting next to each other and we can only see one thing. So I try to use that if I'm discussing with anybody, depending on what they say. I try to look at it from another perspective. It's not always successful. It's not always given. But I believe that if we can look at a situation from different perspective, we're better informed of that situation. So I think it is very, very important that parents have different perspectives, because we want to raise children that are whole, that are complete, and they don't just pick the information they're given. They question the information they're given. They ask why. If the answers are not forthcoming or correct, they challenge it. Because if your child is challenging your questions, I believe it shows that they're growing mentally and they're trying to fill the gaps in their knowledge. And I think that is a good thing. It might be frustrating because what happens is that they're like asking you 10,000 questions in 1 minute and you have a headache and you're thinking,
Or even
this is not the time.
one question 10 times even.
Exactly. But what happens is you see that they are learning. My son, the conversations we were having 5 years ago are different now.
Oh,
The times I used to cheat him with certain answers don't work anymore. So we now actually have
right.
yeah. Excuse me.
Yes, okay.
We now actually have conversations. We now actually negotiate. We are now actually discuss. So when he comes with a question, I just don't blow him off. But that is a good thing because that tells me that he is growing mentally. Now, my wife and I, we we have situations where we disagree on how an incident should be addressed. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm right. It doesn't mean that she's wrong. But I believe that I respect her perspective and she respects mine. So it now becomes a case of how do we kind of meet in the middle. So we have this ongoing rule that irrespective of whatever she says in front of the children, if I disagree, I will not bring it up in front of the children. We'll discuss it when they're not around.
Okay.
Even the same with mine, because you have to, I was raised that, you have to have a united front when you're talking to your children. Once mommy says it, it goes. Don't bring it to dad. Dad is not changing it. Once daddy says it, mom accepts. Now, if mom has a problem with it, when we are both alone, she can now say, I disagreed with what you did there. I don't think it was proper. And we can discuss it. But what that allows is growth. It curbs somebody being the sole determinant of what is happening.
Sorry, Sean, let me pause there. And just to add to what you just said, if for anything, whatever you told the child, you want to change it based on you seeing from different points of view, you have to still go with a united front.
Yes.
Hold the child down together so that child will know that even though the decision has changed, both of you are in agreement.
Yes.
Because otherwise it may create problem later on.
Yes. And if when the incident is happening, you feel very aggrieved, just walk away. And wait for the moment when it's hard, but I'm speaking from experience here. Just walk away, because you don't want to say something that diminishes your spouse in front of the children, or your children find out that whatever mommy says, I can always go and change it when I go to dad because I know how to push dad's buttons, because they're very, very intelligent. And my brother used to do it when we're young. He knows that, okay, if this doesn't work, I know how to go to mommy when daddy's not around and, change whatever is happening. So I think the different upbringing, the different perspectives both parents bring to the home is a benefit. I believe that it is important to raise a better, complete child. And that is my position on it.
Okay, thank you for that. Let me ask you the second one, which I had before, which is to what extent should couples let their own childhood upbringing influence how they parent their children?
From experience, when my wife and I got married, we didn't know. I didn't know, for example, how much having a child was going to change my relationship with my wife, because before my son came, it was just both of us. So when my son finally came and he was getting all the attention, I was feeling somehow. I wasn't told.
It's not just you. So, not just a lot of men.
So
They feel neglected and
and for the first
abandoned.
couple of months, it was very irritating. But later I came to understand and I came to accept that, okay, things will always change. But over the years, I have found out that it's not necessarily a case of parents multitasking with the children. It's more of a case of the union between the husband and wife is the foundation, and the children and everything else is on top of that foundation.
Okay.
For if that foundation is broken, everything else collapses.
Most definitely.
So if there is an issue where there is this children's issue and the husband and wife issue, you have to attend to the husband and wife issue first, then you go to the children. It's like when you're in the plane and they say, okay, when the gas mask drops, cover your nose first before you're helping somebody
Even
else.
before the children, you'll be wondering,
Even before the
that sounds
children.
selfish. The child, but then.
If you pass out, you can't help yourself and you can't help the child. So everybody goes down. And that's the way I see it. It's not, this came to me maybe in the last 2-3 years that, okay, the important thing is me and you. If we are okay, then everything else is okay. But if you and I are not okay, then everything else collapses. And I don't know whether this applies to other people, but if my wife and I have an issue, there is this atmosphere in the house. You know that atmosphere.
That atmosphere.
I hate that atmosphere. But there is that atmosphere, where
Everybody walking on eggshells, right? It's everywhere, trust me.
So, for example, if she serves dinner and she normally puts it on the table for you, this time it will be in the kitchen. You go and carry yourself.
No comment.
Exactly. So that atmosphere, and the children pick up on that atmosphere as well. And my sons will be like, Dad, what's wrong with you? You are not okay. And I'm like, I'm okay. They just know, but they leave it because they know 5 minutes later they will sort it out. So going back to what I was saying earlier, the foundation is the husband and wife. If you fix that and you maintain that, all other issues are easier to fix.
Yes.
I think if you neglect that, it's like a house on sinking sand or whatever. It's slowly going down, but you're not seeing it. And like I always tell my wife, sometimes when we're joking, I know you love your son and all, but don't worry. When he gets a girlfriend, you will see that he doesn't have your time anymore.
You will know.
You will know.
The truth of the matter is, whether girlfriend or no girlfriend, one day, these children will leave your home. They will leave you to your wife. They will leave you to your husband. So where does that leave you?
Exactly.
If there was no bonding to start with,
Exactly. And this is where it is important that, irrespective of what is happening around you, irrespective of what is happening with work, irrespective of what is happening with your siblings and your in-laws and your brothers and your sisters, both of you must do something together on a regular basis. Whether it is after a hard day's work, both of you sit down and watch Netflix together, whatever the program is, whether it is both of you go for a walk together, whether it's even both of you go shopping, even though one person can go shopping, there must be a time where it is just both of you talking to each other, and the children and in-laws and other people are not interfering, because this is how you strengthen the bond. This, I don't want to use the word ritual, that both of you must have with each other.
You must have a ritual with your wife.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If this ritual that both of you must have must include laughter, you must be able to make fun of each other. You must be able to laugh, because that is when you know that, okay, all is well with the world. Because I don't want to say it's you against the world, not you against your partner. because whether you like it or not, life will bring its difficulties,
Of course.
and that is given. But if you and your companion have that strong foundation, then the home will be on a solid foundation.
Yeah.
And once that happens, you can now raise children that understand the importance of the union of a man and woman, because they have parents that they can compare with. They have an environment they grew up in. They have a reference point that, come what may, they can see that, okay, it's worked before. Because it's very important that you know, when our children finally grow up and they want to get married, they have people they can get advice from that have done it. You know, some people give advice and they don't leave that advice.
At all, yeah.
You know, and I always tell people, you are taking this person's advice, but is he practicing what he or she preaches? You know, you are giving somebody's marriage advice and you are not married. Now, yes, I understand there are circumstances, but ideally, you want to be taking advice from somebody who is married.
Wow.
You know, you want to take advice about problems you have with your child with somebody who has raised a child, who has the experience. Now, it doesn't mean they will always give you the best advice, but at least it's a good starting point. So I think that's my take on it. It's very, very important that the husband and wife have a solid foundation, and everything else will be on that foundation. The children, your in-laws, your brothers and sisters, your in-laws, everything is on that. And that foundation is critical.
It is.
So I think that's my take on it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to add to what you've said. I'm not contradicting you, but I'm just going to add to it. That's how best I can say. Sean, someone who studies child psychology, they know everything about the brain functionality of a child, how they behave when they're withdrawing, when they're avoiding, and all of those things. So I will come back to say a professional therapist in childcare or child whatever can actually be of help, even though they may not be parents themselves. So let's not shortchange ourselves in terms of knowledge, because this is what they know. They will tell you certain behavior comes as a result of maybe neglect, as a result of emotional neglect, or whatever it is. They will tell you. So it's easier for you to know what to do with the child or how to connect with the child. Say, for example, a child psychologist tells you they've been with your child in therapy and they've noticed this and this and this. They will bring to your attention. And except you're not honest with yourself, because sometimes they say the truth is bitter, you'll find out that, oh, truly, you've been engaged with work. You have not paid certain attention to this child. And this is their own way of reacting. And you see them as rebellious, So always have that open mind that
No, that I completely agree with you. I didn't include professionals.
Let's just balance that.
No. I completely agree with you. I
what
didn't
you said.
include professionals when I was, just talking about that. I'm not going to. Professionals are professionals. It is their field of study.
We're putting that in there just so that everybody listening
no doubt about it.
can have a balanced talk. So thank you so much once again. Thank you for Leslie. Okay, wait, woman. I'm seeing this coffee mug thing again. Woman of Purpose, are you there? Can you speak? Or should I move on still? I think I can see the coffee mug. Okay, Leslie, good evening. Thank you so much for joining in. How are you? Happy Thursday. I'm sure you've heard one or two. Everybody have been saying. So I don't know whether to still keep asking that question, but then who knows, because we're trying to get a better understanding. Why do parents have conflicting parenting styles? Nearly everyone have said because of their different backgrounds, which we get. And thank God for Olumi, our specialist in terms of parenting here. She went beyond that. She talked about personality difference, and then she talked about being biased, culture as well, which honestly, there are big things, and if care is not taken, can actually, break a home apart. So we're here, getting knowledge, trying to understand, especially parents who are struggling with their spouse, trying to parent those children. There's nothing wrong with you. It's not like you're what is the word? We're not condemning any parents, but other that we can do better. That's what we're here to learn. So, Leslie, I'm going to ask you the same thing because you might have a different opinion. Why do you think parents have conflicting parenting styles? Let's start with that, and I'll let you know the second question so you can answer. Leslie, I hope you're listening. Okay, you're there.
I'm here. Good evening. Yeah, everybody. Good evening. I've well, but Hashem said a lot of very good things. That atmosphere one. I think a lot of us can relate.
Don't get me
when
started.
madam, when madam
Don't
dropped
you
that
have your
dinner.
hands? Go and serve yourself.
No, I no, 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 no. My own will just even leave it in the kitchen. If you like, don't find it yourself.
My goodness, things will
Eh,
do.
then there's thank God. Then we haven't had that in quite a while, so thank God we're definitely improving. But yeah, there's going to be different conflicting styles in parenting because of different upbringing.
Yeah.
Um, but again, where my own is concerned, I would have followed my father's way of parenting, including my mom, if it wasn't for me being engaged in therapy. I would have followed that way, or just as a way, thinking that that's the only way.
That's the only way yeah.
Yeah, if I hadn't had the alternative aspect that came first and foremost from my therapy, just to identify certain areas, my mindset would have been stuck to thinking this is the only way to raise children. And my own was even funny in that there's three of us from my mom. When my mom and dad divorced, we are now introduced to another level of parenting with my father and stepmom. That's a parenting 2.1. And I'm talking, but no, let me not talk to it was minus 1 point something because it went down. It went down, to the point. I mean, the things that we were not exposed to, it's like coming from a parenting that was good. It was okay. It could have been better, but I think they're just doing what they know, to the one where their intent to just destroy your life. you know, and then there's some interruptions to their mission because some people will come in and tell them, this is going too far, But yeah, so I'm very fortunate that I didn't completely take on that. And then, as I said before, with my first son, we had to do some parenting thing because he was special needs. So that brought us into another level of parenting. We did a parenting course for about 3-4 weeks. It was in Watford. We did that, and that was very good. So you did have like 1 or 2 sessions, one-on-one, and then the rest was like a group session because it's for parents who are having a special needs child and what they need to be doing, all the things that were required. And thankfully, it was good because I think when he turned.
Leslie, admissions, you say you can't hear. Maybe you have to come out of the live and try to come back in, if that's what you mean. Sorry, Leslie. Yeah.
So when he turned, I think almost 6, they just said that they don't need him to be coming anymore. That they felt we as parents are doing a very good job, even more than what they're expecting. So they just discharged him. So we're like, we're on our own again. But yeah, the parenting thing we learned, it was it was such a great thing because it helped us to parent our second child, who was the complete opposite. So no special needs, everything was very quick, just, very, very quite independent at a quite early age, reading books quite young. So we just had two very opposite children. So, but one of the things that we learned very early on was we needed to be in agreement when the children are together, when we're doing anything with them, and the discipline as well. We needed to be in agreement in that. That took a while, but I think at some point, for some reason, we got into it when the first child was the second child was maybe 1 year old. That we finally came to a place where this is going to be the way we're going to do it.
Oh, I see.
So it took a while for us. That was quite a bit of work for us to get to
So,
that.
so Leslie, would you say that there's still some maybe upbringing, childhood experience you
Yes,
have that you've brought
yes.
into your parenting styles as well?
So my wife, she came from a family where her mom and dad are together. She never knew what divorce is, that kind of thing. You know,
Well,
her
don't
parents were
hate,
together till
don't
I
hate.
know her parents were together till her father passed away.
You.
They had
Oh,
other issues, so don't worry. She wasn't completely out of the woods. She had her own issues later. But yeah, so there was a difference in how, you know, and some of the things that she's brought to the table, especially where education is concerned, are great. You know, she take the lead position. I basically for because she's just great in terms of tuition, how they are tutored,
and it's so
reading
smile.
everything, writing. There's no competition. There's no way I'm going to lead in that area. That's just the bottom line. So there are things that we identified quite early on in that aspect when it came to reading, writing, studying, education. She drives that. But in terms of the discipline aspect, that was something that she wasn't very good at. Me, I don't have. I think because my emotions are not that. I just
I
don't.
hope you're not the military. I
Thank God it's
know.
been tempered. It's been tempered, but if I switch, I don't I don't have that level of empathy. So I can be
Wow.
quite tough. I can be quite tough, but when it's needed, if you see my kids you will not know, but they do know when dad is upset. Let's back off. So yes, when it comes to discipline, I'm mainly the main person because even when they're doing something that is not right, she'll be like, "Oh, I can't," and I was like, "I just step in." And she's actually said it many times that when I am there, it's like they just behave themselves naturally.
Which is what
When
we
I'm
want,
not there,
isn't it?
when I'm not around, they can just do how they like. And she said that by the time she has finished, she has lost her voice. I said, "How can you lose your voice?" I said,
Wow.
"Me, I can't lose my voice, so that's just not gonna happen."
But
But
I
yeah,
hope it's
that's
not the type. It's not the type that when you come in from work, they run, they go and hide in their
no,
rooms.
no, no, they don't do that. In fact, they come to the door. They are waiting there. They
Yeah,
won't even
having the
let me
right
get
balance is
in. They won't
important.
even let me get in. So we do
Okay.
have that relationship. This is, we do understand. For us, one of the things that we learned in the parenting class is that we are raising children that we love. We're not raising children that are strangers. They're not strangers to us. Because one of the things that I saw from my background is that it's almost like the children are inbuilt enemies and they're just there to be dealt with. That's not how we see
They
our
are
children.
you versus them.
Yes,
you
yes,
know.
and so it was like our home. I always tell my wife every time she said, I tell her I wish I was born in this family. I wish I was born in this family because where we're coming from is like war. Like it's the children against the parents, and the parents have all the cards. We're just trying here to survive. Just do whatever you can. Don't get that upset. And if the stepmother just says one thing that you did, hey, that you are finished too. You're finished. It was a tough upbringing. My dad later changed, but he didn't change. It's because we were fully grown, and by that time he were no longer in his control. We were completely out of this thing, and he could
You're
see that.
lucky. You're lucky. Your
So
father changed me, man. I had to run away from home.
that is a similar situation.
In
It's a similar
fact,
situation. I had to leave. I had to leave Nigeria to even get to a place where they could stop stressing me out. So
you're
that
laughing.
I had to.
The way God so orchestrated mine, when you heard me run away from home, I only just discovered where my mother was. The mother that I was told had passed. I only just discovered, and I didn't have that intention, but I just felt, I mean, all this while, I would die in this. Let me just run to this woman because let me see what life would be like on the other side. So I ran away. He didn't know. I
Yeah.
was in his room when I packed my bags and left. He did not know. Anyway, that's another
Yeah,
story.
so for us it was a tough upbringing, and then it switched when we got older. The rebellious nature really kicked into gear. So all the street upbringing. I mean,
Right.
thank God, I'm grateful God we didn't go to the other side completely 100. There would have been something else. But yeah, for us now, it's night and day. We see our children; they're thriving, they're doing very well, and we're very happy. And because we had to learn the balance and not just and even discipline. We've learned that there's more than one way to discipline it, and not everything is smack it's stick. No, there's proper good ways that will get the job done and still have that dignity intact. You know.
Okay.
So yeah,
Thank you,
for us,
Leslie,
our
for that. Can I challenge you with this before you put your mic off? So, has there been a situation where the children has kind of impacted your relationship with your wife
that's a good
negatively?
question. Um, well, we don't. Thankfully, I won't say we have
I mean,
favorites
you
amongst
don't have to
ourselves.
share, but I mean, you can
No, it's a
talk
good
about
question.
it if
It's a
there's.
good question. It's a good question. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I've observed many times that at some point, one of the children will become close to the mom. I don't know how, and I've seen it a lot. I had the same thing growing up as well, so I'm not. I can't say
All
that
of us
I
do.
saw that happening. And I saw that with my the last born, very close to our mom, very very close. You know, even up to the point of it's almost like you're thinking, he's really replacing our dad with the last born, until they divorced.
Wow.
So I don't know. I don't know whether it's just something that just happens without them thinking about it or bringing them to their attention that I'm your husband here, or I'm still here, kind of thing. We do joke about it now, but yeah, it does happen. It does happen, And I
Yeah.
do tell, hey, honey, if it wasn't for me, this one you like so much, you wouldn't be here. So we
Yeah.
we do, we do joke about it. So yeah, it's there. But I think now, especially as they're all in secondary school now, we can already see that. In fact, I remember telling my second son that by the time he's going to turn a particular age, it's going to change. And he's like, "How do I know?" I said, "Don't worry, I've been there before. You're going to change." And I said, "I can already see. You can't see it now, but I can already see the trajectory happening because of what you are exposed to now and the people you're exposed to. You are going to change, and it will happen in within this period of time." So I'm preempting him, but at the same time, I think the moms from my situation, it has happened, but we have talked about it. I just think that it's I don't know whether it's something that just happens and they're just unconscious of it. That's what
You know,
I've observed.
Leslie, you know what? I was just wondering, I'm just thinking out loud. If they were to line up our children and ask them, who do you think is dad's favorite? Who do you think is mom's favorite? Maybe they might be able to answer. Or some
They
will
will
say,
answer well.
no, no, no
Both
favorite.
my children, both my children can answer that question with that. If you ask them, they will know. They can answer it within a second. They
Really?
know. They know.
Honestly,
Yes,
I'm
they
lucky
know.
with my own. Maybe I'll even try that. I hope they're not listening
They
now.
know. That. So,
No, do I
so
have a?
yeah,
I don't have a favorite, to be honest with you. Maybe because they're all boys. I don't think I have.
yes. So
We're not even meant to have favorites, anyways. They're all my
well,
favorite.
they don't have favorite, but they will always be the one that they spend more time with one parent more than the other. That's what we've
The child,
observed.
the child. I have a clingy one, but
Yeah,
I
they always
wouldn't.
be one that
But it's all good. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah. Kenneth, I'm coming to you. Woman of Purpose, can you speak now?
Yes. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, she's awake. No, I know.
yes. Hi. Sorry.
Probably a
busy,
phone call
busy.
or something.
Yeah. No, my friend came round out to just do some quick paperwork first. So yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Good to
Yeah.
have you. So,
Interesting topic.
yes. So tell us.
Giving me PTSD.
Why? Why now?
Oh,
That's not the
well,
intention at all. Oh.
no, I know, but it's like you said. I mean, when the things that influence our parental skill is a lot. I think a lot has been said about our culture, our own parents, how they
Yeah.
raised us. I think sometimes when we are raised in a very authoritarian kind of way, we then sometimes go the other way.
Yeah.
Where we don't want to set boundaries because we kind of don't want our kids to feel the guilt
Where we
and
felt.
the way we felt, being treated. But I think it's important to realize that we are parents. And as much as we want to be friends with our children, at a certain age, they need that guidance. And the only way you can do that is to be firm, but yet loving, you know? So yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm one of those people that kind of went that way because I remember my dad was, he never used to hit me, but he would spend time standing there like he would be talking to you and just be, admonishing you.
Yeah, I'll take that talk anytime. Or
Really? No, no,
you know what they call koboko?
I hear what you're. No, I don't know what that means, but I hear what you're saying. But sometimes what people forget is that.
Translation.
Yeah, go on, translate. What does that mean?
You know, horsewhip with 6 strands.
Horsewhip. Yeah.
Horsewhip. That's horsewhip with 6 strands.
Yeah, they will come on you
Okay.
at once.
Well, okay. Well, all of it is not good because you know what? The emotional, I think the talking
I would
down
extend
to
for
you.
the talk.
Yeah,
Anytime.
I know you think so, but trust me, that talking thing is not even a talking thing that you can say it's positive, but someone's shouting at you, telling you kind of like, how bad you are and stuff, and it actually doesn't help your confidence, and you don't grow up to become a very confident adult because you just
No
feel so
self-esteem.
rejected. Exactly, and especially when you feel like it's not deserved to that extent, it doesn't make it better. So I think when it comes to parental, that is definitely, and cultural expectation as well. Sometimes, I feel like sometimes people judge the way I parent my children, and for me, I feel like because I would say I have more influence. I've been here in this country since I was 10 years old, so I'm more British than anything else. So therefore, I think when it comes to my culture, I would say I don't raise my kids according to that culture. I more or less raise them the way I feel like, it's the best way. That's what I think. I just do my best. And sometimes people don't agree with that. But I've come to accept that, you can raise your children. Initially, you raise them the best way you can, but they get to a certain point, they become adults. And like I think somebody mentioned earlier, you have to give them the room to make mistakes and learn from them. You are there to support them. You no longer like that firm boundary. You have to, let them become, But some people still things like no matter how old you are, even me, sometimes I say to my kids, you know what, the way you lot sometimes behave with me, I could not even do that with my mum at my age.
Oh, hey. Oh dear.
I cannot do that. Even my parents sometimes they hear and they be like, my kids are behaving not in a bad way, but they just say what they want to say, express themselves. And even my mum, I find it funny that she'd be just sitting there going, yeah, these kids nowadays, she's the one, giving me comfort and telling me not to mind them and just not pay them no attention. They'll come back and they'll calm down. And I'm like thinking, I could never do that and get away with it. So
exactly, why?
Yeah. But it's nice to see that even them, they've changed. They've changed their ways. And then my dad, to be honest with you, as we got older, our relationship changed because I think I was able to sit down with him and kind of express that I didn't, like some of the ways that he did certain things, and we were able to kind of have the conversation and actually develop a very good adult relationship. And I think that's what is important about what you said about like sometimes when you scream your at your children because sometimes you're just overwhelmed with so much stuff. It's good to come back to them and say, what, I'm really sorry.
Yes, indeed.
That I lost my I shouldn't have reacted that way. Let's sit down, let's have a proper talk. And that makes them human and know that in life sometimes we do lose our rights, and it's okay to come back and say apologize and make amends.
Very crucial.
So yeah, but another thing I would say is also like parents' mental health, because I feel like nowadays raising children is very challenging. Sometimes I say to myself, I wish when they were younger and it was easier when I could actually see what they're doing and in a way have more control. But as they get older, it's really difficult. As soon as they start secondary school and get to that 16, 17, they society, life expectation, stress and stuff. My middle daughter was an angel. I'm telling you, she was an angel. That girl was an angel.
Lucky
and overnight during lockdown, my angel, I was like, did somebody take you away and bring somebody else? Like, I was like, what is going on here?
Wow.
And it's not like lack of training or anything. She knows the right, she knows but mentally she was struggling. I think that's another thing, is mental health. Mental health of parents, mental health of children nowadays, it's a clashing thing.
There's a lot going on.
It's a lot. And sometimes we can feel guilty, thinking that we've done something wrong. But that's another thing I want to say to parents. We always do our best that we can. Even our parents did the best they could with what they had. And the same way we try to do the best that we can with what we have. But we have to, educate ourselves and actually put some thought into what we're doing and not just react. Sometimes you can think, I'm getting a bit stressed here. Maybe I need to start, giving some me time to calm down, because the way I'm reacting to my children now, every little thing is not good. And it could be work stress, it could be anything, relationship, it could be anything, but actually having that reflective time can help you. So yeah, like I was saying, in terms of how we treat our children and stuff, and the mental health issues, we need to address that, because some children, they are going through a lot, and sometimes as parents we are so disconnected with the social media pressure and friendship pressures and all this pressure that we don't understand where they're coming from, and we're like, all of a sudden I'm living with a monster that doesn't, I can't get to them, they're not listening to me. But I always, like at church, I'm always encouraging the young people there, I'm always asking parents to continue to pray for their children, never to give up, because like you said, the Bible said train up a child, and I believe that whatever you put in the beginning, regardless how you feel like they might have run away or they're not following it, they will come back to, because it's there, the foundation is there. But like all of us, there was a time, I mean, no matter how good sometimes we think we were when we were younger, there was times that we went away, and yeah. And we had to rely on those things, and we knew what was good and and we have to pull ourselves back. So the same way that whatever we have invested in our children, I believe that they will rely on that, and they'll bring them back. So we should never give up on them. We should always try to have that communication. That's another thing. Communicating with our children is very important. Spending time to speak to them, find out what's going on with them, take them away from others, and just spend some time with them. I know, like Leslie was saying, I know my children, if you ask them who's the favorite, all of them will say they're the favorite, which is a bit funny.
He's a boy, he's a son. I know.
They all will say they're the favorite, but that's because I spend me time with each one of them in different ways. I know what somebody likes, and I'll do that with that person. I'll spend some time with doing different things. So I think by doing that and building that relationship, it's not just about putting a roof over your head, this day, but I'm interested in what you're doing. I want to know when things are good, when things are bad, when things are ugly, when you're struggling with your friends, when you're even me, when you're struggling with our relationship, or if you feel like I'm not giving you enough attention or being there for you, let's have a talk. So I think that communication, when you start that young, it helps. It really does help. My daughter, to be honest, all my kids, they will come to me. This my friend did this. To be honest with you, I have really good relationship with them because I've taken the time to build on it. And it is taxing, because sometimes I'm like, I am tired. I don't come in my room, I'm trying to sleep, and they want to talk. And
you're sowing a seed, honestly.
Or they want to cuddle. Or they want to cuddle, and I'm like, I don't really want to cuddle. I want to go to sleep. Can you please leave my room? But I have to make that time, because obviously them coming that way means there's something wrong. They are seeking for something for me. And sometimes they might not want to even talk. Sometimes they'll come in there, they'll cry, they just want to hug. And I'm like, what's going on? They won't talk. And I'll just hug them and reassure them, like, what, I'm here when you're ready to talk. So we have that relationship. And I think, I wish I had that relationship when I was growing up. Because
born me, I'll go to my dad and say, can I have a hug?
Even
the old age, you still telling me, no, you're another man's wife, I can't hug you. I'm like, Dad, for real?
Really? No, I mean, I'm happy to say that me and my dad, we really got close. Like, yeah, we got close. We will hug, and he got to a point, like, I think when I got older, I mean, he could tell, like, I could come in his house and I'll be like, pretending that everything's all right, and he'll be like, babe, what's the matter with you? What's the matter, darling? What's the matter? And I'm like, I'm fine. He's like, no, I know when there's something wrong with you. Like, we got to that level where he could tell when I was just, covering things up. And I think he's beautiful. So I just want to encourage people that even if you feel like maybe in the beginning things did not work out, there's always, as long as your parents are here, as long as your children are here, there's no time to waste to try and make amends and start putting steps in, spending time, reassuring them that you're there for them, keeping that door open. Because I think that's the best thing we can do, isn't it? Because when we're not longer here, it's the memories. It's the memories that we leave.
Yeah.
I have fond memories of my dad now because we were able to make that connection. If not, I'll be like, oh, it used to be this, and then all that stuff. But at least now I can say, you know what? As I got older, we grow closer together. And actually, to be honest with you, I was even more closer to him than my mum. So
I
things change. Things change, and I think for girls, you always want to be daddy's girl, isn't it? You always want to be close to your dad. Not that your mum isn't, but we and the boys always want to be closer to their mum, but you want to have that bond because your dad is like your first love, isn't it? So in that sense, so yes, definitely. So
I wish I could say that. Okay, thank you.
What was your second question? I don't remember what that was.
So the second question is: to what extent should couples let their own childhood upbringing influence how they parent their own children?
I think first of all, like being aware that it's going to influence, but take what's good, and
But how
like
can
somebody
we
already
tell
said,
what's good in the sense that you have a spouse now, and the one you think is good, your spouse might just be against it as well.
well,
Exactly.
I mean, to be honest with you, parenting styles is one of the biggest problems because I remember my husband, we had issues because, and it was also influenced because like my two oldest children was not his, so sometimes it was like people will say things like, why is he being hard like this on your, and that used to feed in my head. I'd be like, would he be like that to his own children? But I came to realize that that's just how he was brought up, in that very stern, you can't laugh with children, you can't play with children, children should be sitting somewhere quiet. And I wasn't that kind of person. I had a relationship with my children that was more open. We used to just hang about together. They'll sit with me, they'll cuddle with me. So that clashed. And I think the only way we could resolve it and say, okay, I understood where he was coming from and he understood where I come from. So I said to him, you know what, at the end of the day, what we're doing is we keep fighting and the kids are using playing us against each other because obviously kids are smart. They will do that.
Oh yeah. No matter
they know that if I go to for this,
Mm-hmm.
I'll get it. So I was like, we have to play a united front. So like it will be a time when he will do something or he will admonish somebody in a way I didn't like. I will not say anything. Later on we'll talk about it and I'll be like, I think you were a bit too hard there. You could have just said it in this way. And he'll be like, yeah, okay. And I'll be like, okay. And then later on, I'll say to him, what? When you get time, you go and speak to so and so. And just reassure her and do that. He found it hard at first and he was like, why do I have to do that? But I think he eventually he realized. I said to him, what, girls need to have that close relationship. You're their father role. You need to work on that because if you behave like that, you're just gonna make them think that they can't come to you. And there's that extra, I know there's that extra thing because you're not the biological, people expect you and all that stuff. And I said, we need to take that away. Right now, we are a family unit. Regardless whether you're biological or not, we're a family unit. So we got to do what's best for our children. And that involves that if we make a mistake, we go and speak to them. So we used to do that. We'll go to them and speak to them. We'll have discussions, but eventually we'll get to a point where we'll go and have, and sometimes, he might be like, what, I think you're too soft. And I had to take on point that he's right. Sometimes, yeah, I am too soft. But I always said to him, is because you're so hard, I feel like I have to be soft to balance it. Because I feel like if we're just going to be doing hard, it's not going to work. So I was like, I feel like if you were to move a bit here and I'll move a bit here, then we can work together and we'll get a balance. I don't want to be a soft parent because I said to him, before you came, I wasn't a soft parent, to be honest with you. I did when I need to be soft. I was soft when I need to be firm. I need to be firm. But when you're here and you're too like that, I kind of worry if we're both firm, nothing is going to work, So we had to come to the understanding that, this is what we want and this is how we want to roll. And yes, it involves having discussions, talking. Sometimes, staying up all night and talking about it. But you have to, because if you don't, it's just the kids are not gonna grow in a healthy environment. Yeah. Because they're gonna feel like one parent doesn't like them. And that's the worst thing you wanna do. Wow. Because it's not coming out of place. I always say no matter what our parents did, even when we don't agree with it, I don't think it came out of a bad place. I think they were trying to do their best. And that's the way I see it. So I think, if we're trying to do our best, let's have a discussion. Your way is not necessarily right or wrong, and my way is not necessarily right or wrong, but let's find what works for us. And I think as couples, when you come together, you just go find your own things, like a melting pot. You throw everything in, and then you take out what you don't want. What you want, you put in, and then that's it. You make your own. It's your own parenting style. It's a new parenting style. Your Mr. and Mrs., wherever it is, our parenting style. It doesn't have to be one way or the other, because actually parenting styles at different times requires different things. Even with siblings, you can have 3 children. How you parent some of them is different from another one, because you need to be sometimes firm with somebody, and sometimes you need to be softer. Like my kids would say to me, "Your mum, sometimes you're soft with my son," because I said, "But he's younger. He's younger. I can't be harder on him like I am with you. You're older. You know better. So I have to be like that with him." And they'll be like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Yeah, you're seeing it like that now." But as you grow, you realize what I'm doing. As you become a parent, you will see it for yourself. But I'm only trying to do what I can do. So yeah.
Thank you so much. It's very important that you're digging up some stuff, some old memories. Woman of purpose, when you said your dad is meant to be your first love, I say, hey, please don't go.
It's the man that you see, isn't he? He's the man that you see.
First skinny. No, please do not go there. Not everybody have that luxury.
Anyway, it is well. It is well.
It is well. But all the same, we have to do better. Me, that I don't even have a daughter now, my boys, I had to connect with them whether I like it or not, So I had to overcome that hugging thing, because for me, I didn't grow up with that. And I think I remembered I was probably close to 20. I was at work, and this person was a hugger. And they were introducing this person to everybody. And said, nice to meet you, hug. And in fact, unconsciously, this person just hugged me. I felt like, wait a minute, what was that? So to let you know that some of us, it's only by the grace of God we're this normal. I just felt weird. It was the weirdest, strangest feeling ever. Like, seriously, why would this person do this? But they were not in my head. They didn't know what I was thinking. It was weird. It was just weird. But I just said, come to think of it, my parents hug for waiting. Anyway, another story for another day. Well, thank you. So Kenneth, I'm coming to you. Good evening. I hope you can speak. I hope you're not at work. Can you speak?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. You're welcome.
Wonderful topic. I jealous a lot of people here.
Hey, well, let's hear before we say the same too.
Yeah,
I don't know what we're jealous now.
a lot of people, because growing up, parenting style was so like a military barrack. When we hear the sound of the car, everybody adjust yourself, position yourself, with your book.
You have to enter under the chair, under the couch.
We thank God for today, parenting style, and we thank God for our generation. We thank God that things is changing. A lot of you have spoke where I jealous, and in fact, I wish our time like this, like woman of purpose. I envy you. Where do we find up? I don't know what they call. I jealous a lot of people who have spoken, but life is like that. But what I want to say that in parenting in marriage, I believe that the man and the woman cannot be the same gentle in a one way style, because these children of nowadays, at times, if you are too soft, if you are too soft for them, there's a certain things they will feel that maybe you. I don't know how to put it. That is why at times you see we the men, we try to adding up. Not that in our heart we know that what we are doing, we are too hard for them. But we just try to add it so that they don't go the wrong way, so that they will know that at least they see up somebody who is looking after them, who is ahead of them, who want to make sure he see the best in them. But of a truth, I like what every one of you have said. The women, I like everything that you have said, because who to run to? First of all, you must look at the women, how to bring them up in the ways that no matter what the style of where you are coming from, you must try to balance this equation that they are still lovely. You need to pet them, you need to bring them up, so that when they get married to, they will know how to nurture, how to nurture their own child. I like everything that everybody has said, but for me, I don't enjoy that parenting style that you people have. So that is why when I first got married, I tried to use
Approach.
that method of our father. But trying to when we keep going, I saw that it's not working, and there is no way it can work. There's no way it can work, because we need to come down to understand these children, because their way is more different than our way. Their way, they are very, very civilized. There are things that they are used to in their own generation that we are not used to. They are exposed to a lot of things.
I
At
see.
times they answer a certain question, you will be wonder, is this thing, in our time we use dictionary. You will be wondering, is this thing, is this word existing? So, or unless you go to, you try to, they know that you don't know that thing, they know, but you will try to want to cover up, but they know that of a truth in your time, this thing was not in existence. So that is why I say this generation, they are ahead of us. So we need to use some adding way as a parents, so that they will know that at least where we are coming from is different from where they are today. So that is why it's good for us to bring up the children in the ways of the Lord. That's why I bring in this way, in the ways of the Lord, so that they will not depart from it. Because if they leave these children, if they leave these children now, this generation now, they will go tell you that how to discover God is very, very different in their own way. But it's good for us to nurture them in the ways of the Lord, love them, care for them in every areas of our life, nurture them where, treat them as you treat your spouse as well. We know at times they might bring confusion, which is always there, whether you like it or not. Where people say that yes, I have the one that I love, you don't have the one you don't love, but all of them are all your children, and you must parent them in the ways of the Lord, and treat them as you want them to grow in the ways of the Lord.
Thank you, Kenneth. So let me ask you as well. I think you've said here on Inside before that maybe you were using certain approach, even in terms of dealing with one spouse and all that, but you found out that it took you some time in the marriage, and you found out that that way did not work. So,
Yes.
is there any upbringing styles that you experienced as a child that you're
Yeah,
still
we
using
do.
to parenting
Yeah,
your children?
I said it before that we experienced like a military
Are you still
barrack,
using
which
that style with them,
yeah,
with your own children?
we try, but we don't. Because that is what we saw when we were
Growing.
growing up. So
Yeah.
that is why not until we begin to see that this style is an old pattern of a truth, because that
Some
is what
people
we
still
that
do
is what we
that.
saw
Some parents still do that.
in every home, in those days. You will see that even till now, I don't know. There's in the place where I work, there is this old woman. She will say, "No, I'm going home. My dad must meet me at home by 6 o'clock." You know
Imagine
that
that's the
is
mental bit.
it's still there with her. This was somebody
Somebody
who is
was talking.
almost 80 something to 90, but she will tell you, I need to go home. My dad must meet me at home," which is the same thing like us. When it get to 4 5 o'clock, Wherever you are, you must think how
Hey,
to get home before
God
your
bless
dad
you.
come back. That is why that is why you see a lot of children today love their mom like our generation, because we only see our mom to talk to. Most of the time we don't see our dad at home. At times we don't see them 2 to 3 days because they come home late. The only person to have
Evening,
conversation, the only
Father.
person to talk to is our mom. So when we start building our parenting our own style, we try to want to imitate their pattern, but of a truth, that is not the right way, and that is not the way to go to bring up a child.
God helping us. Thank you. Thank you, Ken. Some people they don't live in army barracks. Thank you so much for the heart to me. But you almost think the way they're raised, you think they lived in one. But God will help us that we do better by our children. And the advancement the world is experiencing in terms of parenting, marriage, and all of these things. But in it all, we have to do it safely and we have to do it with wisdom. Because sometimes it can get overwhelming, which I quite get. God will help us really. But all I know is the way I was brought up, I can never ever bring my own up that way. That much at least I know. Thank you, Apostle. I've been seeing you. I see one or two people there that I really want to bring up. So please, if you don't mind, I don't want to pick anyone. If you don't mind, I can share your box with somebody else. So Bariton, I'm coming to you before admissions. I think admissions came later because you had to go and come back. So Barito, we want to hear from you. Good evening, happy Thursday. I hope you are good. I'm sure you've heard a lot, and a lot is going on in your mind as well.
Yes.
So please feel free to share with us. Good evening.
Hello, everybody. I heard a lot. I
Okay,
regret I
thank you.
wasn't here for your talk, but obviously, I came in. I think I came in when Olumi One was
Speaking.
rounding up. Yes, and everyone has spoken so well. I mean, it's been
No, Olumi,
it's been
no. I don't know why everybody's dropped off now. Sorry,
it's
Barry.
been. Oh yeah, people have been picking themselves. You said 1%, so people have picked themselves to drop off. Anyway, it's been just everyone, especially what's his name? Is it Sean?
Sean.
Yeah, I because he was all round. I enjoyed all he said so much, and maybe I would just I don't even know why I came up on the box. Maybe for solidarity, but. You just rest my submission on what everybody said. But I would just especially what Sharon said. I loved what he said so much, and I was clapping here quietly where I was.
Oh, wow.
So, but I'd just like to add that obviously we're all learning because so much of what we're talking about, I'm sure that in each and every one of us, and of course, anyone who is listening, we are being in some way convicted because obviously some of these things, affect us individually also, or in our homes, as the case may be for different people. Now, first and foremost, we are all born with an imprint that is the spirit person within you, within each person has an identity, and that identity is what we always hear about called nature. We come with a nature, and then of course whilst we're growing up, we meet the other side of it, which is the nurture, which obviously has to do with our upbringing, our environment, peer effect, and all of these coming together. So the nature and the nurture make the person. And then when you have a couple, so you have two natures and two nurtures, or two sets of nurture coming together. And if, of course, like they say, all God has created is good, if there is good within these two sets of people coming to make one or to create a union, then it should in some way bring some kind of balance effect. but more often than not, it's not always balanced. And so we continue to learn, and, listening to each other and communicating. And of course, there's this thing about dealing with conflict in front of the children, especially. There's this a skit I saw on Instagram. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago or so? Where the man was screaming, he was talking to, screaming at his wife or so. He said, I think he was a Yoruba man, and he was saying, always telling your daddy is going to flog you, your daddy is going to flog you. Can't you do the flogging too? Why do you have to
Oh,
put
okay. I think
use
I saw that too.
use
Yeah.
use
It's like you're
daddy as
making
the
him to be the
poster?
bad guy.
Exactly. Me, I am the poster boy for flogging, whilst you are the good person. So I mean, it goes to. I mean, whilst people were talking, that picture came to my mind. It was so funny. But then, of course, it goes to that route where there is got to be a unity of purpose between the two people, and then that agreement when, of course, the child has done something wrong and there is need for punishment. Of course, somebody, I think it was Women of Purpose or somebody talked about it. Let's decide together so that it wouldn't be, Shaun also mentioned it, the child, the mommy says this or daddy says this. If daddy is the soft one, mommy says this and he jumps to daddy and tries it on. They always do it because they know. Um, Another thing, the other side of it, which I would love to touch on, is what happens to, because I heard part of the question you asked someone, what happens to the couple's relationship when,
Parent.
when you're dealing with parenting, in other words, where does it cease to exist and all that, or how is it affected? What I wanted to touch on more was the postpartum experience where the woman puts to bed and the man seems to be like useless around the house. It's like all attention has been drained and put on the child. I think I want to talk to men because more often than not, um we tend to be the culprit here because some men, or not some men, a lot of men don't seem to take this situation or this experience very well. And they feel cheated, they feel some most times grumpy, like and even if you hear telephone conversations, I've listened to a couple, ah, that it's all about the child now. She's not even talking to me anymore either. So I think it's supposed to be part of the marriage experience that there's a time and season for everything, and that time at that point, at that point in time, is for the child, and it's not just for the mother. It is for the couple to rally around the child, and in fact, if it's done as a couple, you would see that love spring, that the wellspring of love that flows between the couple, because even the child would see the communication, even the that comes without words between you know his or her parents. I mean, as a baby they notice these things, so I think men need to chill more, and allow that experience to play out. You know, we know you're the landlord, but let the child, you know, experience that time of bonding with you and the mother more often than not, than with the mother more than you, because of course the child depends more uh, at that early stage, at the anal stage, on the mother, and it's something that men need to learn more. I think in this day and age, it's time for men to learn to be a little bit softer. We were trained to be macho, of course. Yes, we were trained to be macho, and be the disciplinarians, but sometimes it's good to be soft. My daughter just acted up, recently by vaping, and I've been so unsure of how to deal with it, you know, and I ordinarily would be for me to scream, but I was just reflecting on it today, and I said, why don't you just, deal with it in a way that unnerves her, that the opposite way. Talk about it. Don't scream. You know, make her see the point, but but do it in a way that you've never done it, so that she'll be like, "What was that?" And perhaps you might even get through to her more, because it's been like one thing after another and like that. So I think there is credence in being a little bit, doing things in a different way, perhaps softer. Sorry?
I said in a different way than you know.
Exactly, and then of course it's not wrong to ask advice from people who other people who've traveled the road, professionals or so. It goes a long way to help the experience. Like they say, it perhaps you bring the child to the world, but it is the community that owns the child, and it is the work of the community to come together to bring up the child. I'll rest here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's very important because there's some transitions we go through in that marriage still, that if we're not careful, instead of enjoying it, it will become a strain, on the relationship in that marriage. Say, for example, thank you, two men has brought our attention to this, especially when you're having your first child. It's no longer sweetie, honey, just the two of you. Now there's a tiny feet in there you have to care for. So instead of men just withdrawing, feeling, it's time for them to born now, it's time for them to, you too, while she's feeding that baby as a husband, sit next to them, be rubbing her back or massaging her leg, be putting your hand on the cheek of the baby or something, instead of just abandoning them and going your way and be doing your pity party. I'm sorry I'm sounding this way, because because you're not experienced, you haven't heard that yet, you're excited, you want to have a child, but you have not deeply thought about the dynamics, that transition. How is it going to affect the dynamics, the relationship, and all of that? And that's what we're talking about, these things here. Dissociate completely. You can't afford to do that. In fact, that's the time you should bond. Even if your body is feeling jealous or whatever you're feeling, you have to put that emotion aside, because you're needed. As the mom is feeding, like I said, find something with them to do and engage with them rather than dissociate yourself from that space. You're needed, because as you see, you're sitting there, the baby is looking at you, trying to get familiar with you. You're there. And now imagine you're not there, you just come occasionally. The baby will just even be wondering, I just see this person once in a while. Who is this person? And you don't want to be a stranger to your baby child, honestly. So don't. I know it could be hard. It's like somebody has come to steal your wife away or what. No, it's still your child. Don't worry. By the time they grow, they'll find their way. You have your wife back to yourself. But no, I'm just kidding.
Can I say something? Yeah, like what you're saying. I think that's the thing. If the role is seen as a joint thing, if you're helping the wife, like you said, if she finished feeding, you take the baby and you go and burp the baby, spend some time. You can help. You can even, like you're saying, take time in bathing the child, even she's there. Just do things together, and at least then it becomes like a family thing. But if it's just like, oh, it's your job.
Yeah.
That's the baby is there, you and the baby, and then you wonder why when the child then grows up is so attached to the woman, and you're saying, you feel left out. But that's the reason, because you've not bonded, and we all need that. We need that bonding thing. And I was like thinking that's why now in hospitals, like once you give birth, they encourage skin to skin with dads as well. Put the baby on your chest and things like that. Encourage you to take part in those things, because it's important. And I think that's one thing that men can also do,
Yeah.
and not feel like they're totally left out of the whole I mean, what age are you gonna wait when the baby's 1 and is walking? Some parents are like that. Some men are like, oh, when the child
But
starts
women
walking,
breastfeed
that's
till
when
two
that's when
or
I'll step in. How are you
yeah.
gonna step in then? The child will be looking like you said. The child will be looking at you like, you.
You
And
know that point. It reminds me of Harry Belafonte's song, "Mother Look at Boo Boo." Because the man was almost never there, so whenever he came, he came visiting. In parentheses, the child said, "Baba, look at Boo Boo." He said, "Don't say that. That's your father." I said, "That cannot be my father."
can you imagine that?
Exactly.
So thank you, woman of purpose. Thank you, baritone. At the same time, I'm going to balance this for the women as well, because also you are transitioning into motherhood, breastfeeding, and all of that is like it takes the whole of your attention. As you're breastfeeding, you can be rubbing the back of the head of your husband. Let him come and sit with you and ask him how his day is. I know you're stressed. That's why women, we're good at multitasking. Don't just put all your attention 100% on that baby as well. Let him feel included. And if you feel, you can sense, your man before the child came, you can sense he's sulking somewhere. You out of your way too. I know you're tired, you're this. Oh yeah, for me, I've been there 4 times over. I said there's certain things I know now. If I knew then, maybe, all would have been bed of roses. But then it's never too late. And that's why we're sharing our experiences with you. So as a nursing mother as well, don't, even if your husband is neglecting himself or running away, dissociating himself, you find a way of engaging him as well, because he's also trying to grasp with all of this transition, both of you, and you need to talk some more. Ask him, my dear, what can you do? Or, my dear, I need you to help me wash the bottle, or whatever, if you're not breastfeeding. Engage one another, because that experience is new for the two of you, and your parents might not really have gone deep in details with you. Oh, when you have baby, do this, do that. They might not have, or you might not even have that luxury. So as much as the man may feel neglected, please, wives, mothers, new mothers, embrace them, bring them in. Even if you think they're doing too much, just engage with one another, so that when this child runs off, you're still holding hands with one another. It's very important. So thank you all for your observation, and thank you for letting us go there as well. So I'm coming to you, admissions. Good evening. I hope you can speak. Yeah, I'm not
Good
missing.
evening.
Good evening. I'm sure you heard a lot as well.
Yeah, what a wonderful day. Yes, so much has been said that you now think for one episode, see how much you've loaded in that. Even some people will be
In
too much.
fact,
Considering your talk earlier on, so much was in it, and here we are to contribute us very valid, solid contribution, left, right, center.
thank God.
Too much for one day. Yeah, this could go into 3, 4 episodes. I'm telling you. But we thank God for this knowledge. What I wanted to say, what might be a bit just kind of having heard so much,
Yeah,
I'll pivot tonight on the grace of God. Yeah, we
it's
need
needed.
His grace. We need His grace as much, because someone like me, some people said, "Oh, this is what they got from their pit." I did not get anything. I left home I think about 10
Oh,
when uncles picked me up, and I was there, here. They were just kind of swapping me here and there. This one will come and say, this he's smart. Let him come and live with me. I had one instance where even when two uncles were like at each other, that he will live with me, he will stay with me. And that was it. I was being here and
too
there.
much
So when
love. Too much
yeah,
love.
so I just don't know what was it. But it took me round. So where's the ingredients? I had no basic ingredients of saying I live with my parents. This is what I'm. So I was. But when the time came to set up my home, yeah, I think grace came in as it will always do, and it helped me through. There was nothing I could, but somewhere along the line, all my fears just kind of, yeah, God helped me. Once the first thing I observed was that almost everything I was deficient in, my wife had it. So we're kind of complementary to each other.
Thank
And
God.
where there was these glaring weaknesses in me, they were not in her. She brought that, and we're able to build a home. And today, I think, yeah, to the glory of God again, we've had them. At least the boys are now adults. They settled. So, like, we didn't do this by our own. knowledge other than what God helped us to do and all the rest. It's that way. And all my fears those days, like, oh, maybe I will not be able to. And I realized that we are just custodians. These are just gifts of God to us.
Yeah.
We're just meant to see them, be train them, ask for his way, his grace from time to time. I remember once that one of my auntie came to and was like, no, you don't let them grow up here. As soon as they finish their primary school, send them back to the country where we come from and all that. And a part of me was like, no, this is going to be a repeat of what I went through. So my children will be there and I will be here, and they'll start moving them from one place to another. I said, no. So I kind of resisted it. Today, with hindsight, I'm thanking God that I did not let it happen.
Yeah,
Because I discovered that some of these people, they would have taken them away. And only God knows what would happen. But they were here and we kind of struggled along and all that. They are not doing bad. And I'm giving glory to God for their lives and all, whatever. And I found out that much as I was a man of faith, they were equally they were tilting towards that. That means we say we are their mirror, they are watching us and all that. These ones are watching too. Came home from one day from work, and the next thing I saw them playing a role. One was a pastor, the other one was a deacon, and they were singing my salvation song. I was just hoping that I was like, what? They are really watching. There was a song that led me to Christ that I used to sing all the time. I didn't know they were listening. I thank the living God. I thank the living God. I thank the living
There you
God
go, baritone.
every day. I thank the living God. I thank the
The
living God.
living God.
Thank the living God every day. I opened the door gently and came into the house. Like, wow. Because them and their friend, they were playing a role, and God spoke to me even at that point. Let me leave at that. So that's where it's been. I'm adding this to all the wonderful contributions that come left, right, center. That's my own take. And you were saying something about who would they prefer and all. How did you put that part of the question?
If you ask your children, who do they think is dad's favorite or mom's favorite?
I think they both tilted towards their mom, and I'm not even jealous. Oh, I don't know. Somewhere along the lines,
You'll be surprised that they will shock you.
some few occasions when I see it happen, I'm like, I think because I got busy working and working and working and trying to get the bills settled and all the rest. She was there all the time, and she must have impacted much, much, much more than me. I'm not jealous. I'm rather even still saying thank you, Lord, for making her to be available at such moments in my life. I will stop here. Yeah, otherwise, no, I'll be here for now. Thank you
Okay,
so
all
much.
right. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, it
Have
takes.
you have you have you heard that joke where a child was asked, he said if mommy is going to so place and daddy's at home, who do you want to be with? And he said he's going to Chicago, so and okay, why? And he said he's never been to Chicago. And then when they asked him the reverse, okay, if mommy is at home and daddy is going to Chicago, who would you, where would you be? And he said, I would be at home. He said, hold on, you went with mom to Chicago. He said, I've been to Chicago before. He
So
said,
there's
where
no
did you
point.
go? He said, where did you go? He said, the first time you asked. So mothers,
Yeah, I think I heard that.
he
You know
said,
the one.
mothers, yeah.
The one trending, I don't know if you guys have seen it as well. They'll put the children in the middle. Dad and mom will be there. Dad will run this way, mom will run this way, and the child will look left. Should I go to mom? Should I go to dad? And most times, those videos, the children will go to the dad, and I'll be like, "But mom," and they're toddlers, like they can barely walk, and they'll go to dad, and I'll be wondering that must be some serious bonding because mom is there changing, doing that, and at the end of the day, the child looks and still runs to dad. It's amazing, these things, But all the same, I mean, that shouldn't that
Are
should
you
not
are you
mean.
are you sure that are you sure that mom is there doing all those things? Because there's some men out there, they do
Yeah.
a lot. Oh, there's some men
You
out
see
there,
what
they
I
do
was
a
going to.
lot.
Let me see
Look,
for
I've seen a situation where a new mom has this child and refuse to nurture the child because she just feels like this person is encroaching me as a person, and instead of developing love for this child, they just develop this kind of hatred. I know
Well,
you
like
Was
you
guys
said,
it
it's
will.
postnatal depression and all that stuff
was
that
she
happens,
depressed?
Yeah, postnatal
Because
depression. It can happen.
the postpartum
Medical,
experience,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
medical.
that do happen at times, but you just find out this person. That's why I said sometimes when your mind has not processed certain things, it's hard when it becomes your reality. Because it just feel every second, this person is crying, you want to feed. No, 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 this is too much for me. And the husband will have to step in. Either you have to go and bring baby bottle or
Yeah.
something. And it's not like, it's not even depression or post
Yeah.
whatever now, but it's just their person.
Temperament.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's
I
Exactly.
think
And
temperament
it's like,
because
it's too much. It's too
yeah,
much. Like, they
I
can't
think
handle.
yeah.
I think I understand the one you mean, because there are a few of the women folk who feel they're not cut out to be mamas,
Mothers.
and in fact they feel like like what you just said. He said, "Look, you've taken too much of my time. You've come out, leave me in peace. You know, go to your father. That kind of thing. And it's unfortunate. But it's happening. You're right. Yeah."
Of course. So the
Can I
husband
come
really
in?
will have to
Yeah.
step in. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, my cousin back home, honestly, his kids, they love him. They love him because you know what? He's always up whatever time. He will get their school uniform ready. He will do, I'm telling you, like the
I see,
kids,
yeah.
like sometimes I'll be like, where's your wife? Like even me, I'm asking as a woman, like, where's your wife? And the kids, if he's going out, they'll cry and cry and cry and cry. Like
Okay,
he always tells
Olumi,
me he
thank you
can't
so
even
much.
leave them.
Thank you.
He tells me he can't even leave them because he feels like if he leaves, they'll be calling him as soon as he gets home. Everyone will be like, "Daddy, why did you go out without us?" Like they love him because he takes the time out and he bonds. And I think it's always about this the time you invest with the child. A child will always go with the parent that is always there available for them. That's just normal. We all would do it, isn't it? You go to the person who's always available for you, that will take care of you and make you feel, that you're important. So we
Not
prioritize.
always, so not always.
But majorly, I think most
No,
times.
another thing that plays with children is that they're very curious. Sometimes they want to explore and discover the one that they know nothing about, and that's why you see a girl child leave the mother that she's always known and goes in
Thank
search
you,
of the
Olumi.
father that she's never met. You know,
Yeah, that's
because
curiosity.
they're
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, and from that curiosity, they can build something else. They can build that bridge,
Wow.
and something else can develop.
That's rare though, baritone. That's
yeah,
kind of rare, but it does happen. No doubt about it.
yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, if babies, less than a year can actually talk, they will tell you a lot of things I bet you don't even know they're observing. They will tell you some things about their mom. They will tell you some things about their dad. You'll be shocked, really. Thank you, everyone. Oh, thank you, Olumi. Thank you so much for stopping by. Really appreciate your presence. Thank you. I kind of summoned her and she came. Thank you so much. Yes, we've been talking. Why do parents have conflicting parenting styles? And I mean, it's been established that because of our different childhood upbringing as well, we can only bring on board what we know in a way, except you are exceptionally intentional and conscious of what you're planning to do as a parent. Because, like I said, some of us that had it rough, we've decided no, our children will not experience this roughness, and we've tried our best. Thank you so much for the heart to me. We've tried our best, God helping us. And I love what admission said, grace. You see, they say when something is good, it needs prayer. When it's not good, it needs prayer. At all times, you need grace. Because if I say, we did it, me and my husband, we did it. No, it's by the grace of God. I don't know, something happened not too long ago, and my elder said, in fact, you guys should be grateful. I don't know what happened. I said, you'll be grateful. We're not doing drugs. We're not out there causing trouble. So I said, I know, thank you. In fact, I had to humble myself. I said, Akuko, no, thank you so much. And that's why I trust you guys. I know you won't do that. And they just started laughing. It's only by grace, because sometimes some people, in fact, it's like you inherited certain, I don't know, hormones or whatever. These children, no matter how prayerful you are, no matter how much you speak with them, no matter how much you try to party with them, they are just in the world of their own. And it will take the grace of God to soften such children's heart. It's not of your doing, it's not of your spouse's doing, so don't blame one another. There's some children, they have to go through certain things in life to for them to reach where God is taking them to. Their own experience, no matter how much we try to guide or guard their experiences of life, sometimes it may just be beyond our reach. It may just be out of control for us, but it's not the time for parents to start fighting each other over how their son or daughter has turned out to be. No, you need to be mindful of that. It's very, very important you don't fight each other over them. Rather, sit down and prayerfully find solutions how you can reach that child. And we've said here, you cannot really transform anyone. And that's why we need to be extremely careful at a very tender age. The seeds we're sowing in them. Say, train up a child in the way of the Lord. When they grow, they will not depart from it. So even if friends lure them into bad behavior or gangsterism or whatever it is, the seed you have sown, you just keep praying that God will allow that fruit to germinate indeed, even if you're not there. You and I know there's so many orphans in the world. Their parents, of course, loved them. They brought them into the world. Maybe by accident or whatever, they left this world. Somebody will have to look after that child. So this time around, you won't say, oh, what kind of upbringing did they have? They are just at the mercy of whoever is ready to look after them. And whatever they put in them that's the only thing they would know, so to say. And then they grow up, they don't know any better, and we're demanding, be good, be this, be that. So sometimes we need to understand, be empathetic towards your spouse, especially when you feel, oh, you're not a good parent. Why are you doing it? Let's be patient. Nobody is perfect. Your upbringing is different from their upbringing. So there is no how you not do things differently, no matter the same values that you have or principles of life you have. At some point in time, you'll not see eye to eye, especially in terms of this parenting we're talking about. But it's not the time to fight each other. Sit down, be open and honest in your conversation, and try to find ways forward. I think it was Barrington who mentioned, if you have people, with older children, mature children, seek their advice as well, because no man has all the answer. And that's why I'm here, to learn from you as much as you want to learn from me. I never would have all the answers, but I try to bring it to us consciousness. Let's discuss this thing. Is it affecting your home? Is it affecting my home? Can we do better? Can we learn better? Can we still enjoy life better? Yes, let's talk about these things so that we can enjoy the fullness of marriage and, of course, parenting as well. Debbie, thank God the thing has left you in the box. So I don't know if you have anything else to add at this point, because we're just about rounding up. You've been thrown out so many times, I even forgot you're in there.
Talk has been dropping. Why did you insist on bringing me up? This matter now, how is it my own?
I think we have to appeal on your behalf to TikTok. Why now? How can our old elder be left out of this conversation? Oh, okay, woman of purpose, you want to leave as well. I know time is really fast spent. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you, everybody.
By the way, woman of purpose, where have you been? We've not seen you in a long time.
He's been to London to see the king.
I've been to London to see the queen.
No, the queen is fast. He's the king.
No, me, I go see different queen. Different queen.
Okay.
Not your king.
I don't know.
Me, I'm different queen. No, I've been about. Thank you for asking. I've been about.
This one you're seeing the
She
queen.
was
Be
there
careful.
on Monday. Barrington, you were not here on Monday.
Tell him.
So
we keep missing each other. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll give you a minute to exchange pleasantries. It's okay.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all good. Okay, so Debbie, please, we want to hear from you. Thank you.
What do you want me to say? Everybody has said everything. The
Okay,
only
so
thing
you
I have
want,
to
you want to
say,
share the grace.
the only thing I just came for the offering and the grace, because on this matter on ground now, I need to.
Honestly, I think we need to appeal.
But the only thing I would like to say to all the parents here is, you guys well done. God bless you. Now they do well, now they try. Yeah? I don't know why una feel the same. Now they try. Raising children is not easy. Mm.
Tell me.
Even the ones that they just drop with me, and the mother will come and pick. I know how it feels. Not to talk of the one you stay with 247. So you guys are doing well. Well
Oh,
done.
thank
God
you.
bless
We
you.
appreciate that coming
God
from you.
bless
Thank
you. God
you.
bless you.
Yeah.
Uh, I will pray this prayer in Yoruba. Lady Fumi will translate it.
Ah,
Don't ask me what it means. One dirun, one digba mọ́ yín lọ́wọ́.
amen.
The enemy will not take them away from you.
Amen.
According to the life, they will fulfill it. In the
Amen.
name of Jesus. Una
Amen.
well done. No, I
Thank
don't
you.
have much to say about parenting because I don't know much about it, but I will say for the ones that are starting or that are looking to start, please
Yeah.
look very well with who you want to do parenting with. Parenting is not easy. Parenting is not easy. Oh, look very well. Look very well. You want to do parenting with a God bless you kind of person. Look very well.
Yeah.
Communicate the kind of parenting you want to. There are lots of things I will not put in parenting when I start having my children. There are lots of things I
Topical.
have adopted, trained myself, that made me who I am today, which I will adopt into my own parenting. But if there is one thing I know that must be in my parenting, is God. That one, I cannot miss it. So I'll say for my fellow single people or the ones that are on their way, let God be number one person you introduce to your child. Don't forget you are a caretaker. You are not the owner of those children. You are just a caretaker. They just use you to watch over them. If we see heaven, there will be a part where they will ask parents how you train the child they give you in heaven. We don't even know. But
Ah, we give
your
accounts
relationship
now.
with God, the kind of life you live reflects on those children. Your relationship with your spouse reflects on those children. Mothers, please, when you give birth to children, don't just hold them by yourself. Leave them with the man. Leave them with him. If he would drop it, if he would drop her or him, let him drop it. He
Ah,
can't carry him.
drop my
He's too
baby.
fragile. He's too fragile. But it's mistakes a lot of women make,
Never
which
nice.
is why the women don't have bond with those children. It starts from there. It starts from there. And like Mr.
Exactly.
Barrington said, babies knows. We are talking. You guys, some of you are talking about adolescents. You are talking about young adults. Babies, they know. They are smart. There is this couple on, is it on TikTok or Instagram? The phonics. They just gave birth to a girl. That girl will be crying. The mother will be doing everything. This girl will not stop crying. Immediately she hears the father's voice. The man will just say, my seed, hear the word of the Lord. Oh yeah, go to sleep. And that girl will keep quiet. I'm like, Nibo, the child I carry for 9 months. But to be honest, it's just because he's involved from the beginning. So for the ones that are just starting, put all the, no, it's not 10 fingers, 20 fingers on the table. Don't say, oh, because he's fragile, the man cannot carry him. The man, hello, let him drop him. This is child too. Don't don't do. See, while we are trying not to stress or not to be like, oh, you are not, you don't want it to be. Hello, let's do it together. That's the only way it can work. Oh, hear from all the elders that have been talking.
Thank you, Toby.
Let's do it together. And the man, the woman, that's the only way parenting can work. I think somebody said when you scold the child and they go to a lot of children do that. A lot of children do that. Once they know that you guys are not one,
Yeah.
they use you against you. So I'll say, for my fellow single on the line, watch very well the kind of person you want. Discuss the kind of parenting they had, the kind of upbringing your spouse have before you start. If you guys will need therapy so that you can flush the nonsense they put, sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but if, so that you can flush the ones your parents put in you that is not good out. And it's true, because some of us, oh God. But I will not lie, I'm grateful for my upbringing. They gave me God. They gave me God.
Thank God for that.
That I'm grateful for. That is a very, very deep foundation. So I would say, please discuss it. Know the kind of upbringing your to be or your spouse have. Know the kind of parenting you want to give. If you need help, seek help. I don't believe in maybe because somebody have not experienced it, you can't ask them for it. Sometimes they've not even really done biological parenting, but they have done parenting.
Yeah.
Sometimes you think they don't have the experience, but they know a
You'll be
little.
surprised.
There is one thing we always say: it takes a village to raise a child. That actually works for a lot of us that grew up in Nigeria. That works because there are some things I know that no, it's not my parents. You know, when some uncles on the street catch you and you are doing nonsense, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, you can't get home and say Uncle Dele beat me. What did you do?
You in fact you get another beating.
You better not try it. So once Uncle Dele beats me, I'll make sure I finish my crying before I get home. Why is your eyes red? No, it's one butterfly that enter my eyes. Because once you say Uncle Dele beat me, they will beat you in addition to it. So that works as long as the person helping you in parenting is not abusive. They are not talking down on that child. They are not saying anything that would affect their mental health or something. As long as they are doing it with love in a godly way, it's okay. But once you notice that it's going to affect your child mentally or something, you can take action. But once again, for all the parents here, Jare, sorry, that have trained one or two, or that is training one or two, that have become adults and they are not on the streets, they are not carrying pinchu, they are going according to the way of the Lord. Now, well done. On behalf of all your children, I say thank you. Well done. God bless you. On the day of their celebration, you shall not be found wanting. You shall not be found missing. On the day of judgment, they will not stand against you. In the name
Amen.
of Jesus.
Amen. Amen.
Those children will be great when they are calling great people. That way your results will show. Their
Amen.
names will be amongst them.
Amen.
You will not miss them. They will not miss you. In
Amen.
the name of Jesus. Well done, no. Oh yeah, times for offering and thanksgiving, and
Thank
let's share the
you.
grace.
Elder Debbie, you will not believe what happened today. You remember
What
I
happened?
told us if you want to help with the goal for today, where did I say we should click on?
Oh, we've reached the goal.
See?
Oh my
Oh
God! You see,
my God.
you know, when I joined, I was doing. I just got home. So I just joined. I was going by my business.
For the first time in
Oh,
a very long time, we achieved all our goals today. So thank you to
Mr. Barry,
every single
Mr. Barrington,
person.
what is this? Which one is Auntie Eda Debbie?
No, I think your prayer is bringing some titles again for you.
You
Thank you so
you
much.
No,
you
the thing
you
is,
you just
we
you
all
leaped to
those things.
your billing as an elder. You were just flowing. Even
See,
I say I don't have the I don't know, but you were just flowing.
In fact,
see, the thing is, it's easier for us to blame parents oh, your child don't do this, but nobody says take your flowers.
Mm.
Nobody says take your flowers. They just say, oh, when we only see when the child don't turn out how we expect them to turn out, but we don't see the ones that really turn out well.
Mm.
There, I was coming on the street of Peckham one day, and these children were chasing each other, and they have already chook one,
Mm.
already breathing. I'm like, ah, and they are my color. I'm like, Jesus is Lord.
Mm.
So if you are training your own in this part of the world and they are not part of them, I say kudos to you. There is something you are doing right. There is something you are doing right, and God will continue to strengthen you. That's why I
Amen.
said, "Wọ́n á dirú, wọ́n á digbá."
Amen.
Àmín.
Amen. You say I should translate. But that
Eh,
translation. What diru? There will be locust beans. Abi.
No, they will no for me. They will be bountiful. They will be bountiful
Hey,
in life.
admissions. We're teasing. I know, of course.
They will be
I think
bountiful.
When she said I
I
should
think
translate, what is iru in English? Is it not locust beans?
No, it's
okay, what is
Maggie.
it then?
It is Maggie.
No, Maggie is different. Hey, please don't come and show us here or admission.
I think it's a case of they will be fruitful and they will
Of
multiply.
course, I know. I
Mm.
mean, not in literal terms, Iru. No, no, no. But thank you so much, Debbie. We really appreciate those prayers. You know, it's one thing for an outsider of, I mean, from your marriage or your home to say well done, because you just feel you're doing your best and all of that. Do you even get acknowledged? Who should even acknowledge you? I mean, it's your responsibility. But for someone to say that, it goes a long way and it means a lot. So thank you so much for those prayers. Really, thank you. Toby Gold, good evening. You're welcome at the just about time. We still want to hear from you regardless because we're just about rounding up.
Okay.
Good evening. How are you? Hope you're good. Thank you so much for the tapping, the gifts.
I'm good. Thank you. Good evening to everyone. Oh, you're about to round up.
Yeah, but we
Well,
still want to hear your views, really. So we've been talking about parenting in marriage, parenting our children such that our marriage is not suffering or our relationship with one another is not suffering. At the same time, if anything, conflict, whatever is happening, that we're not allowing that, especially coming from the children or parenting styles, to come in between us. So there's just looking for ways of balancing things. And I asked the question, why do parents have conflicting parenting styles? So I don't know where you want to start from. Craft Property, hey, we're just rounding up and you're here. So maybe I'll bring you up to help us as we round up as well. So yeah, Toby Gold, I don't know what your views is about that. Why do you
okay.
think parents have conflicting parenting styles?
Oh, okay. You've asked a lot of questions plus
I
the
know.
other things I wanted to add, but I'll just be quick. Okay, so I feel parents have conflicting parenting styles because they haven't talked about the kind of parenting style they would be doing during the time they were dating.
Oh.
During that time of dating,
Hmm.
there's a lot of emotions, lovey, and all these things, all these things going on. So it takes someone that gives he or herself to knowledge, you know,
Yeah.
to discuss all this in-depth stuff other than
Whilst
what's kind
dating,
of
whilst
wedding
courting.
gown. Yeah,
Yeah.
what was yeah doing the dating cutting time. Other than what kind of wedding hall do I want? What kind of shoes am I wearing? What's your favorite food? What's your favorite color? Shawarma and all those things. So I think it comes from when they didn't discuss it. I remember when I was dating my husband, we already discussed, he already told me. I already knew. And when he now mentioned it, I was like, oh wow, this is another good qualities that I'm going to hold on to in him, which is he called me that day and he said he wants us to always discipline our children with one voice. And I was happy for him saying that because I already knew that in my mind. I already had that. in my mind that okay, I won't be the kind of wife that husband will say A, I will now say B to the child later.
Toby, sorry, I can hear baby sound. Oh,
Oh, that's my
oh,
baby. I just gave birth.
oh,
That's why.
congratulations. Oh, boy or girl?
Boy.
Boy, like me. Oh, congratulations to the family.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank
well
you.
done.
He's about 3 weeks old now.
Oh my God, hear the tiny.
Tiny.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's part of this program now.
can you imagine? Yes, so our first baby here.
Of
Yay.
course,
After
so
Toby,
what mentioned the other day.
yes, our visitor.
My
It's
neighbor.
very good.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we know you're there. We know you're there.
You're most welcome.
He's saying thank you. My neighbor said to me the other day that, oh, it's nice to hear the tiny voice of baby again.
Yeah, I just want to hear the voice. No, I don't want them right now. No. Been there, done that. Yeah.
I know.
Mm,
So they have to discuss it from when they were dating.
yeah.
Because when you get into marriage, so many things is going on, life issues, pressure, and all those things. So that is not the time to start going to the school of I don't know what to call it.
Parental talks. Tahila, I see you.
So, and also, I wanted to mention that let's stand by. I mean, how do I put it? What we believe. If you believe in God, you need to start imbibing that God in your kids from the scratch. And also, I don't know how to put this one. Like, because so many things are going on in the world now that people are teaching their young, like from 2 years of toddlers, that there's no God, there's nothing like all these things. And I'm shocked that wow, those kind of children will go to school and be teaching other kids those kind of belief. Fine, you can run with whatever belief you want, but you also need to equip your child or your children that so they won't be easily confused out of that training that you have given to them. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a child in a class can just meet someone's daughter now. That's my mommy said there's no God. If your daughter is the kind of the person that is easily convinced out of what you have taught her, she will start carrying that mentality. Understand? So parenting has I mean parents we have a lot of work to do in the aspect of conflict as well. Why anytime we have conflict or our lifestyle generally, we should also know that we are already parenting those kids that way as well, because they watch us, they see us, and it's what they see, our lifestyle that they are seeing, that they will do also when they grow up. You want something? That's the sister.
Okay.
So our day-to-day lifestyle, whether it's conflicts that we are giving each other blow or whatever, our children are seeing it, and it's also parenting that way as well. So I mean, I have some other things to say, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
my
okay.
children now.
Please, we're rounding off anyway, so please feel free.
Yeah, because you're rounding up, and my kids, yeah, they're also
Okay,
putting their
there.
mouth in the distance, so
All right, fair
allow
enough.
me.
It's okay. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank
I think you share the same values in terms of when you're dating, because Debbie too said that once you people are courting, you better be asking questions about everything and anything. Ask questions how they were brought up themselves, because that would have shaped them to some level. And then ask, just ask questions whilst you're courting. It's not all about how the wedding day will go, the ashwebi and all of that alone. No. You're welcome. Thank you so much, Toby Gold, for your contribution. Like I said, Fitcraft, I'm coming to you. We're just rounding up. We've been talking about parenting in marriage. how we're not meant to allow the fact that we're parenting to affect our own relationship with our spouses. I can see that coffee mug again. I really don't like that coffee mug when I see it in the box. But all the same, Fitcraft, can you speak before I rant on? Good evening.
Good evening. Sorry, I joined really late. I know I told you that I was going to join, but I went for
I
an
can
event.
imagine. Yeah, it's all right. How was the event? I hope it went
It was
well.
good. Yes, yes, it went
Yeah,
really
you
well.
probably are tired now.
Yes, I am. So I can't put my
But
video on.
because you
Sorry.
promised you'll be here and you came, thank you
Yes.
so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that because I know, of course, the time too is even well spent here. But like I said, we're talking about parenting in marriage. If care is not taken, sometimes we neglect our spouses because we're parenting, especially having the first child. You know the drill. Some men have attested to that. They feel jealous because they just feel all the attention is on this baby. Me as a husband is like I'm just nowhere. I'm on my own and all of that. So we ask questions, and maybe I'll ask you the first one, which I think is easier to answer, or whatever is coming to mind. Please feel free to share with us. Why do parents have conflicting parenting styles? And the other one is, to what extent should couples allow their own childhood upbringing influence how they raise their children? So whichever one you want to start with.
Okay, so I think the first thing that came to mind is that obviously leads to the second question. The conflict in parenting style mostly is caused by upbringing, different upbringing, different cultural backgrounds. You know, people obviously they're function of who they are, like of their background. This is the way I was brought up, and then they bring that into the marriage, and that's the style. That's the way my father raised me. This is where my mother raised me. And sometimes it might not be the right way because I mean our parents did what they thought was best at the time. But now times have changed. The children that are born now, they're different. So the parenting style we have to move, with the time and just do away with any cultural or traditional mindset. So yeah, so I would say, couples should talk. They should maybe treat this as a ministry or as even an organization as if this is like you're in corporate. Have meetings, regular meetings, talk about, things that you can do away with, maybe screen time. Do you want to reduce screen time? The sort of schools you want your children to go to, that can be driven by the area that you want to move into. So many things that I feel like couple, but of course they have to work together. I mean, if two don't work together, how can they agree? So the two parents, they have to work together and have common goals. They have to share the same values. So for single people, obviously, it's very important for people to ask these questions. I think the other speaker was talking about that earlier. Have these conversations before you get into marriage, because I think most people just get the shock after the marriage, thinking, oh, it's just all love and, let's just get this done. But then the children then start coming in, then they start going through this conflicting, like whatever. So talk about it, ask questions. What are your parenting style, your background? Because trust me, people will bring in their background. Like it's just natural. We're all functions of who we are, our backgrounds, our cultural beliefs. So have these conversations before you get married. And if you're already married and you're having this conflict, obviously just try and talk to your spouse, see how, because that's the only way you can raise thriving children. You can't, mommy can't be saying this and daddy is saying this, and the children will just be using two of you to just play 10-10. No, that's the truth. You have to speak the same language, have common values, your core values, they have to align and ensure that that's the value that you want to carry on. Define your own. Don't let one mother-in-law will come and say whatever, like external influences. Have your own, and by the time third parties come into your house, they have to abide by your rules. That's what we do. I mean, we have our own style. So my mom can come, my mother-in-law can come. They can say what they want to say respectfully. Tell them, this is how we're raising our children, and because we believe that we're doing it. We are people of faith. So the Bible, like the Word of God, is our standard, and that's how we're raising our children. So other parties would just have to abide by our style of parenting. But of course, the two, they have to agree first.
Definitely. Thank you for that. And I'll ask you again. So what should parents do when this parenting styles is bringing some sort of conflict and is making them to neglect each other?
What should they do? They have to be intentional. Obviously, communication is very, very important. So for you to say, So the first thing is let them acknowledge that, okay, there's a problem, there's a conflict here. And then what steps are we taking to resolve or to overcome this conflict? Talk, have the conversation. I mean, the person is your spouse. There's nothing to hide. Just tell them what your struggles are, what your concerns are, and then take it from there. If people need to go on, courses, seminars, or read books on parenting, obviously, and whatever religion you believe in, pray as well, and just agree together. So I think just go back to your foundation, communicate first, and then break it down, and then see how you can build from there.
Thank you so much. By the way, before I forget, let's follow one another, please, especially Fitcraft. We're trying to help build her page as well. And if you live in this, I don't know, Fitcraft, maybe you should tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of property and getting I mean, I don't know nothing about nothing, but all the same, she's the best person you can go to. At least FunmiRoyal is vouching for that. I don't know if you go outside the shores of UK, yes. So please tell us a little bit about yourself before we round up.
Okay, well, thank you for the opportunity. I literally just joined TikTok a couple of, and my lovely sister here actually put me through. I didn't know my way, like I was just like an Instagram girl. So what do I do? Fitcraft. I started Fitcraft to help people, especially from underrepresented community, to sort of get on the property ladder. Whether you're a first-time buyer, you want to buy a residential property, or you want to go into property investment, I help you source good deals. I can help you manage the refurb. So I know that I'm an accountant. I'm a qualified accountant by profession. That's my 9 to 5. So of course I bring my finance background into this, which then means that I understand the numbers. I know the deals that make sense. I've built the team across the UK. So not just London. I live in London, but I cover outside London as well, where we can get you good deals, cheap deals that are below market value, properties that you might not be able to find on Rightmove. So we have ways of sourcing these deals from motivated sellers, and then we negotiate, we get you good deals, and then we get you tenants as well, and then we help you manage. That's if you're going via the property investment route. But if you want to buy your first property, your residential property as well, I can help you, just talk you through and hold you from scratch, how you can build your deposit pots from, getting the right mortgage lender, and then finding the property and getting you moved into your property. So
Yay. Okay.
Reach out to me. I'm happy to help.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I don't know, have you gone outside the shores of UK, or we're still
not yet? So I'm looking at Dubai, but not yet. Okay. So the UK is that's my first baby. I know the UK, so I'm still trying to just understand the Dubai markets before I can launch into it.
Okay.
But no, for now,
we wish you all the best, and thank you so much for stopping by today. I know you're tired. It's been a long day. Guys, please help me follow Fitcraft right now. Please, I'm begging. Thank you for the heart to me. Juliet Cook, I see you. Good evening. Yes, if you want to go into property, market, or whatever, whether personal or for business, she's the best person to reach out to. So please reach out to her. You can DM her privately. And be rest assured, I mean, at least it's coming from FunmiRoyal, so be rest assured. Thank you so much, every single one of you. Before we go, I'm going to read what I wrote for my conclusion again, just to kind of round up parenting in marriage. So this is my final thought when I give my talk. Parenting in marriage is not about perfection. It's about partnership with you and your spouse. It's about walking in unity, in grace, and in purpose. Your marriage is the soil. Your children are the fruit. Keep watering the soil and trust God for the harvest. It's very important. And my prayer is that whether we're struggling, whether we feel we're putting in our best, the grace that is needed for us to bring out the giants in our children, to make them be a generation to reckon with, my prayer as well is that God will grant unto us in the name of Jesus. And as we are growing and helping these children, training them in the way of the Lord, our prayer is also that they would take this training, they would not depart from it as well. Our children will not cause us sorrow. Our children will not bring tears to our eyes. If at all, there will be tears of joy because of their successes and accomplishment. That is my prayer for all of us. On that note, I'm going to say thank you so much to everyone. Tista for Autism, thank you for your patience. Admissions, Toby Gold, Fitcraft Property, Debbie Gazim, my elder, Thank you so much, Leslie. Thank Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, Baritone, for at least all of you helping us to achieve our goals for today. Thank you, my goodness, the like 203K. Oh my God. Thank you, every single one of you. Oh, nice mustache. Baritone, thank you so much. You want me to grow beard by force? I'll be mustache by force. Nah, I don't think my husband will let me stay in the house if I have one. No, just kidding. But thank you so much. Thank you for the gift. I really appreciate every single one of you for your contributions. Immensely appreciated. And thank you for keeping it real and simple, because that's what we do here. And we'll be back again on Monday where we'll talk about individual talks. God helping us, we will do better by the grace of God, and we would enjoy this life before at least we pass on to glory. God helping us. Thank you all so much. I wish you well. Do have a splendid weekend, and I'll see you back here 8 p.m. Monday by the grace of God. Have a lovely, lovely night rest. Good night, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, offering time, blessing time. Thank you so much. Elder Debbie, I've not seen my donut too. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Thank you. 8:13. Oh my God, my dear brother, how can I forget? 8:13. Gracias. Obrigado, merci beaucoup, all of the above, you know. Maybe I'll go and learn Spanish because of you. Thank you, A13, for the tapping. Thank you, and good night to you as well. Good night, everybody. Thank you. He's still tapping away. Good night, sis. Have a lovely night rest. And life. Yeah. Okay, we don't want to go. I'll stay here until the last person drops off then. Good night. Thank you so much, Leslie. Really appreciate you guys. I should drop you. Okay, because you're carrying baby. Let me drop you. Thank you, Toby Gold. Thank you. Sister Fortism. Thank you for helping me source out Olumi as well. Thank you so much. Have a lovely night rest. You too. Kenneth, thank you so much. Oh, he dropped off. Elder Debbie, please don't drop off unless TikTok drops you. Baritone, hey, I don't know whether he slept off now. Okay, still there, I want to believe. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Have a lovely, 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 lovely night rest. God bless. Good night, everyone.